What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I'm Braithorn. How we doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing well. Oh boy. You know, I last Sunday recorded a video about, you know, what had developed in the industry and what was going on with, you know, RAM and everything, and I was trying to get that video out. Like, we have the base edit done, and I basically usually go in and sweep through it and try to get the runtime down a bit, things like that. Because anyone who edits an hour or an hour and a half of me talking about computer stuff isn't going to just be able to read my mind and know what I think is important to stay in there. So it was the same way with my previous editor and with the current editor, where they clean it up, they shorten it, they get it to where it's cohesive, stuff like that. And then I usually have to go in and have to remove things where I'm like, okay, I don't need that, that's redundant, I don't know what I'm doing there, let me get that out. But the problem is things keep changing. Like, I was in the video talking about, like, and GPUs are next. That's going to happen when GPUs next. And I recorded that shortly before NVIDIA proves me right and says, hey, we're cutting 40% of our GPU production. So, like, I got to go. I have to go in and add that. I have to go in and add notes on that, do this and that. I might just record a quick thing tonight. Instead of doing a whole other video, record a quick thing to add into this one in the early part to say, hey, I'm going to talk about this stuff. These changes happened after recording. There you go. Here's what I think about it. There you go. Like, I don't mind, you know, there's times I wish I hadn't been right about that, but I should probably mention it. But what's going on, everybody? Hope all of y'all are doing well. WX fan. Oh, hold on. I got to do the thing. Because WX fan 21 just dropped a tier 1 sub. Let's go, nerds. Thank you for that tier 1 sub there. Appreciate you. How you doing, buddy? Is it going to do that? Okay. All right. I was pushing the button. Is there a cookies command that I'm supposed to have? I should know this. Is there a cookies command I need to have? You got to let me know, WX, if that's something I need to add. Jord, what's going on? Technically morning here in the UK. True. I hope you're doing well. Frozen Fusion, how's it going? Happy Sunday to you. Bears Beats and Battlestars, how's it going? Just finished watching some Bad Seed Tech. Currently in the market for a new keyboard and mouse for productivity for my Mac setup. Productivity, though. I mean, look, productivity, MX Master. What is it, 4S now? It's the mouse. It's the mouse. That's what most content creators use anyway. Doing okay. WX, I'm doing all right. I need to get back on that. Well, of course, I've got a lot going on. The holiday season for tech content creators is always crazy. But no, I was gonna say I need to I need to see if there's anything. There was supposed to be a winter tournament coming up. I need to see about that. I have CES coming up, but I want to do more commentary. That was so much fun. Bone Shock, thank you for the lurk. What's going on, bud? Over on YouTube land, what's going on? Alucard, Anton, how you doing? Sky Planets Moon, that's what's up. Ernesto, what's going on? Happy Sunday to you. Tech Blacksmith, welcome in. Tourney starts in 10 days. Oh boy. I will be missing for some of that because on the 6th of January is the first day of CES in Vegas. And I'm going to be over there, probably heading up there a day or two before to sort of settle in, get everything set up. I actually have a buddy of mine who used to help out with things, used to come through and chat now and then. Just a really cool guy, Sega. He wants to get back into it, so he's probably going to be there doing camera work with me, which is cool. Also, he flies for free, which is great, actually. Machiavelli, what's up? Did my longest live DJ stream today. 3 hours, and the PC you spec'd out for me worked flawlessly. I would expect no less. That's awesome to hear. Anton says, if the game store I'm at sends you some Pokemon packs, would you do a shout out for the shop? If so, how many? Sure. I don't care. Anton, if it's one pack, that's just super cool. Because, like, first off, I'm not a big Pokemon channel. I talk about PC stuff. But the Venn diagram for the two does overlap quite a bit. As y'all can tell from every time I'm going to rip packs, y'all are like, yeah, let's go. But yeah, like, Pokemon stuff is hard to come by. Like, man, God, that Mega Dreams EX box was so stacked with hits. They tell you'll get one full art card, and I got 5 out of those 10 packs. That was crazy. But no, they don't have to send a lot. Like, I'm not gonna be over here like, hey, send me some 151, just whatever. Yeah. How do I get a mailing address for them? Here's my business email right here. There it is. They can shoot me an email there, and I will give them I would love that. That would be like a nice little Christmas present right there. And of course, I'll shout them out, because this hobby is like, if you approach it in a healthy way, it can be a lot of fun, and it does bring people together. It's pretty cool. And whereabouts is that shop located, by the way? Oh, got you. Okay. PC build stream soon. I don't think I'm gonna do it as a stream. But the build, yes. Braxton, what's up? Welcome. And Ergzilla, how's it going? Was trying to keep the budget a little lower, and Keychron M6 mouse was on my radar, but MX Master 3S might be the play. I don't know yet. That's what I use on my editing PC. Didn't go for the 4, but I have the 3S. It's fantastic. A build stream would be cool, but it requires me changing my setup here some, clearing off this table of anything I've got on it, all this other extra stuff. And with one of the 2 biggest events of the year coming up in just a couple of weeks, it would be a rough time for me to do that. And that's because I have a company sending me a case to do a build stream in, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it before CES. So I'm telling a company that. West Side. Oh, okay, cool. Hold on, how far? Let me see. If possible, because I've been making it a habit, Anton, to go to San Francisco to stop for a few days in San Francisco on my way back from Taiwan for Computex. If anything, I'll head out there to Sacramento to go check them out. Whatever the shop is, that'd be fun. Off stream's fine too. Send you a DM. I'll send you a DM for the tourney server. Sounds good. Yeah, at this point, I've got everything I need. I do have everything I need. No, Anton, that's very exciting. I like the sound of that. That sounds cool. And of course, supporting a small business, you like in a heartbeat. Especially one that's like, hey, we do cool stuff here. We like nerdy things and geeky stuff, and we support fun habits. So yeah. You have any merch your fans can buy? I do. Yes, right there. Thank you, Triple B. Appreciate that. You're also asking what are any plans for Christmas? I might be streaming on Christmas evening. Yeah. Ari has a government job and will just works on Christmas. No getting out of it. So I might be, for those who don't have plans for Christmas, well, now you do. Come hang out. Heck, I'll tell you what. If Anton's hobby shop there, card shop there, sends me stuff on time, I mean, it would be overnight to do that. Let's not do that. But I would love to do just a bunch of opening some cards, and just having some fun with that. Maybe giving a couple things away, just whatever, something fun. If I have anything for that, but I don't know, whatever, Yeah, I know the link works now because it's not my vanity link, WX fan. It's supposed to be Bray. No, it's supposed to just be braythorn.tech. That's supposed to be the link, but it just shook loose. I guess it just isn't working. So it has to be that braythorn-shop.fourthwall.com. It just rolls off the tongue. The default one. Peter, I'm not sure how I feel about that. MK Loomis, look at that. Five stream streak. There you go. How's it going? That's going on. I'm happy that I'll be able to have something fun on Christmas. There you go. Absolutely. Maybe I'll even find a Santa hat or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Okay, Anton. And again, no pressure to them to send anything at all. But yeah, that would be a lot of fun, and just a really fun thing to do on Christmas. Ari works until midnight, so it's like from like 2 to midnight. So it's a rough shift for that. So I'm just gonna be hanging out with you guys. Whoever, like I said, whoever doesn't have plans, actually, yes, you do. If you want to come hang out with me in the evening, and we'll just I don't know, hang out. We'll do something fun. But yeah, I mean, heck, it could even just be PC matchmaking, because I don't know, some of y'all might get Best Buy gift cards or whatever for Christmas, and if it's like, hey, I want to find a good keyboard, we could look for that. I'll change the rules. Why not find and wear the Jane hat? Well, we're halfway there, so I guess I could do that. And if it happens, if it so happens that I do have time to get everything cleaned up, maybe I'll throw together a PC build stream or something, a PC build to do on there. I do have one in mind that I would be able to do. It really depends on time, because I'm trying to get this video out. It just sucks. It sucks to put out such a negative video around Christmas. It's really not what I wanted, but I just, it's more helpful than here's how to start using Windows or whatever. Like the whole don't wait, buy now kind of messaging is not my usual thing, but it just needs to be said, you know? I'll be alone on Christmas year if the family has COVID. Oh, sorry to hear that, Braxton. We're hearing everyone is doing well with it. Okay. I'm glad to hear everyone's doing well with it. Yeah. Just gotta batten down the hatches and ride it out. Yeah. Araxnus, welcome. How's it going? Oh, right. The whole Rampocalypse thing still. Yep. Depending on who you're listening to, that you have one brave soul from Sapphire saying it's not going to be as bad as everyone's worried about. Don't panic buy, which is not my messaging in the video, by the way. It doesn't matter if I say, when I'm saying buy now, don't wait, it's not like buy this very second. It's more like don't wait 3-4 months for, like, if you missed Black Friday, don't wait for like tax refund sales or whatever. Just make your choice, get it soon, because it's not going to get better for a while. But yeah, if you're listening to like the Sapphire guy, he's like, it's not going to be as bad. Halfway through 2026, things might get better. Well, that's the thing, is like buy now or wait 6 months at the very least is rough. That's rough. But according to all of the sources, we're looking at it for RAM specifically a couple years before things get back to anything that might resemble normal. CB, what's up? So excited! I got my shipping notification from my Gladiator 2.1. Will be here Tuesday. Updated my Archon. Nice. I think you told me that you did an upgrade from that. That's awesome. Very exciting. St. Michael, what's going on? Merry Christmas. Okay. Love your content, brother. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, St. Michael. Appreciate that. Welcome. Down the beach. It did great, Majir. It got timed out basically. Well, actually, what sold out, guys? Funny enough, because I believe we were led to understand that there were plenty of these cases. We sold through Gamdias's stock of those cases in the United States. So that was it. That was that, you know? That was like, okay, that's a good reason to cut off right there. So this was our third collaboration with Alexander PCs, and we broke the numbers from before, surpassed them. We surpassed them greatly. Thank you guys so much for trusting in me on that, and you're going to get a great system. Now, there's other great options, of course, from Alexander PCs around that price point if you're just like, and they make great component choices too. These just sort of leaned a little bit more in the direction of things that I like, that I sort of obsess over. But TJ obsesses over stuff too. So anything you can get from them is going to be dynamite. My code works on all that stuff. You're good to go regardless. When some people can't get RAM themselves between departments, there's an issue. Yep, that's actually, I saw Carter PC's short on that before I heard about it anywhere else. And I'm thinking of including that in the video. Just a little nod to that right there. You know, like I said in the video when I referenced Steve's channel, you know, the Gamers Nexus, you know, I like to help smaller creators, you know. It's the right thing to do. John Paul, welcome. How's it going? So let me see where we are on the form. I believe we had someone who had filled it out, and then we ran out of time. So I'll take a look at that. I've helped a lot of people this year. Feels great. Oh no, I did help them out at the very last minute. That's right. Because they had a parts list. Or it was something like that. Or I gave them a copy of because they came in with the same budget as Natty did. And it was a parts list. And they had the same things they wanted to do. So I just threw that same parts list at them. Christopher, welcome. How you doing? Well, if all is well on this front, I mean, yeah, you guys let me know if I can help you with anything. If you're looking for pre-built, I got you there. If you're looking for a parts list for a DIY build, also got you there. Or if you're looking to upgrade a system you've already got, you know the rest. I can help you out. Just if you're watching on Twitch, the link pops up every now and then. It says from Stream Elements. Want help getting the right PC for your budget and needs? Fill out this form. The form link is at the end of that paragraph. And if you're watching on YouTube, please click the link in the description and fill out that form so I can get you helped out with either pre-built or a parts list that is catered to your budget and needs. You still have Black Friday and Cyber Monday tags in your streams, just letting you know. Oh, that's easy enough to remove. I usually just go live. I don't mess with that too much. So let's change those, remove those. There we go. Bam and bam. Done. There we go. Thank you. Appreciate that. 22 in chat, only 7 likes. Oh my goodness. Anton, thank you. You're not wrong though. Look at today's my birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Let's go. Happy birthday to Christopher Adams. Thank you for spending a little part of it here on our humble little stream. Been enjoying it. How you doing? Doing fine. Doing good. Just had some Dairy Queen. It was on the way. We were out doing errands. And I am ready to hang out, rip some Pokemon packs, help people with computer stuff. The family business. You know, helping people, ripping packs. The family business. I gotta drop my voice lower every time I say that. Sammy. Nobody? Really? No? Nothing? Okay. All right. I'll keep that reference for myself then. I'm just going to keep that one in the old pocket there. That's for me then. Did you see the Supernatural mini reunion on The Boys as we get Sam? Oh, cool. I have not watched The Boys. You think I would watch The Boys? You think I'd watch that? I haven't. I've found myself watching less live action as the years go by. If I'm like, YouTube is my primary source of entertainment, and when we do watch a series, it's usually anime. So, I mean, there's so much to keep up with. So, like, I have wanted to watch The Boys. I've seen a million YouTube shorts about it, and it definitely has my interest. So I might. What's up, Angry Beaver? Welcome. How's it going? The Boys is one of the few live action series I do watch. Yeah, it needs to be on my list of things to watch for sure. I mean, it is on my list of things to watch, let's be honest. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. Well, thank you. You're welcome, Chris. Okay, so there's not much else to do, but until someone fills out the form, I guess we'll chill out, hang out. I want to tell you guys about one of the craziest little tech devices I have encountered thus far. So I had this issue. Who was watching the stream where I was with TJ, IRL streaming from Micro Center in Chicago? It was only on Twitch. I hadn't yet figured out how to IRL stream to both Twitch and YouTube. I'm gonna maybe try to do that at CES. Those streams might just go to Twitch, or more likely they'll just go to YouTube, to be honest, because the VODs stay up forever there. Okay, so yo, Gary, what's going on? Welcome. If you remember, you may remember how it ended with my phone, this poor thing just overheating like crazy. It just it was like hot to the touch. In my infinite wisdom, I had it in a sort of a sling bag with the battery that was charging everything, and I just had my camera out. And it was a bad time for my phone. So I'm building up this whole rig, and I'm actually going to probably do a short about it, because there are things like IRL streaming backpacks that have everything handled for you. They're like $2,000. I don't have that. I already have a device that can kind of do all of that, and I already spent enough on that thing. So why would I? But the heating issue is a problem. So I picked up this little thing. This is a Black Shark phone cooler. Oh, you're welcome, Araxinus. It was fun. It was fun. This is a phone cooler, right? And it consists of, well, I'll get to that, but there you go. You just have to power it, right? Now, I have a thinner case on the way. A thinner magnetic case, because this thing doesn't have, by default, the S23 Ultra, which I'm on. I skipped the last couple generations. The S23 Ultra, I'm going to wait till the S26 Ultra comes out, basically, and then upgrade to that. It doesn't have MagSafe, right? Only, I guess, a Google Pixel 10 or whatever has that now. You have to have a case with a metal ring, and then it'll stick on, but you don't want a thick one because that's an insulator. But this thing is crazy, okay? I thought it was just going to soak up heat. It has a fin stack in there and a fan, and it actually blows pretty strongly. It takes from USB Type-C, it takes 12 volts. So, I mean, it's pretty strong. Like, you can't just hook it up to your, to just whatever for USB. It needs to be pretty strong. This gets sub-ambient, as in it gets lower temperature than the surrounding ambi ambience, okay? The temperature in the room or outside or wherever you are. If you look at a standard tower cooler for your CPU, it cannot cool your CPU below ambient temperature. Whatever the temperature in your room, that is the theoretical limit for how low the temperature can go for your hardware, and it will never reach that. So when you look at measurements for how well a cooler does, you will measure the delta above ambient. So if your CPU at idle is running 20 degrees Celsius above ambient, that's pretty good. That might be like, I don't know what Celsius comfortable room temperatures are. I don't know, but whatever. But this thing, it condensates. The plate gets so cold. It is cold to the touch, and it condensates. It's crazy what this tiny little thing does. I need to actually look into how it works. It's actually kind of bonkers. Also, it's or now you're not going to give me the right. Oh, it did. It was. There we go. You'll figure it out, battery. Come on. Also, it has RGB because, of course, it does. This thing was like 25, 30 bucks. But it's for people who game on their phones all the time. It's already cold. Oh, my God. It is already really cold. Jeez, this thing is crazy. So the insane thing about this is when you hold it to your hand, you will feel the air coming out of it get hot as your hand starts getting really cold. I'm actually going to let this run for a bit just so you guys can see the condensation that forms on it. Bananas. And that's actually, it's funny because I've been talking about subambient temperatures and condensation recently because I've been talking, I've been doing stuff with Splave. Like at TwitchCon, we had the extreme overclocking with LN2 thing going on with liquid nitrogen. And I was explaining to people why Alan had plasti dipped the motherboard, other than the contacts that were needed, because parts can reach subambient temperatures and then condensate, and then poof, your electronics are dead. Will Baggins, what's up? Thank God I got my PC when I had it instead of waiting for Black Friday. Well, Black Friday, yeah, it wasn't as good as it could have been because of that, but we were still in the early stages, or mid-early stages of Ramageddon. Has anyone bought a system from Skytech Game O11 Vision case? How are the thermals? Since the top is also tempered glass, if you have a 5070 Ti or 5080, 9800 X3D, or would a King 95 be better? What you're looking at, Gary, there is what you get with the Vision, because it has the 2 exhaust fans and then 6 intake. You have a positive pressure setup. It's fine. The thermals are fine in it. If you're looking to do like your own overclocking or something, it's not the right case for that. You're obviously going more for aesthetics in this, but the thermals perform perfectly well, or else Skytech wouldn't sell it. Streaming phone needs an AIO confirmed. Alucard, you jest, but TJ literally said he wants to figure out a liquid cooled IRL streaming setup. The problem with that is that I have to fly with it, and I don't know what it's going to look like, but I don't think TSA is going to like it. I'd have to drain it every time if it's like a custom loop little thing in a back. What if it's a custom loop like mini PC, like a custom liquid cooled mini PC? That might be kind of sick. That is mind blowing. Did not think those phone coolers really would make such a huge difference. Oh, it's crazy if you get the right ones. There's some that are just like, they're generic, or they're not. There's not much going on, but like, let's see what this looks like now. We did recently have a drop in humidity. Oh my God, that is so cold. Nope, there it is. Check this out. Look at that. Look at that. Literally condensating because of how cold this is. Jeez. And there's nothing on my hands. Literally, what happens when I touch it, there's a fine mist of condensation, and when I touch it, it gathers. That's how liquids be liquidy, right? But it's crazy. Thermals wise, airflow. No, yeah, you're good. You're good with the vision. Absolutely. I mean, look, Gary, think of it this way. Alexander PCs makes a system in that case too. So if you ever want to verify whether a case is good, see if boutique boutique sellers use it too. That's a good indication that you're looking at a good product. This is bananas. And also, if I can't use the MagSafe case, if I have to have it on the back of the phone, that's not a problem, because this thing actually has a pretty cool way of adapting. I have to unplug it for power, but I mean, I've shown you how cold this, it wants to just drip. That's crazy. Now, when this is consistently getting heat, it won't condensate as much, because it's going to be keeping the temperature of this a little higher. But this has a cool little way of, so you just put that there, click, put this here, and click, you push it forward, there we go, and it will fit the majority of phones. So this is my S23 Ultra, a very large phone with a case on it, and bam, there it is. And this has a 1/4-20 screw on it, so you can use it with something like, if you're going to be doing something like what I'm doing, you can use it with something like this, which is a magic arm. I'll show you what that looks like. I like these magic arms because they have what are called RE locating pins. That's these pins right here. Certain things will have holes for this, but if what you're screwing this into does not have those holes, they just push in and they get out of the way. But yeah, so then you would just, there we go. And if you're if you're doing IRL streams, you can now hook this up to a tripod or something like that. So, and then you have the cooling, right there. It's I love this thing. This is just me geeking out over something that's adjacent to my category of things I cover, but pretty, that's being generous. It's not that adjacent, but it will be part of the video I make talking about my IRL streaming setup, which I don't know. I need to get back to where I used to sort of venture out. I don't mean to have that. To where I venture outside of the standard stuff I make. To sort of remind people hey, I do a lot of tech stuff. And also but I do have my niche and that niche audience too. I can see a mini PC for sure. Just need one light enough to carry in a backpack or by hand if needed. It's a little thing. It is. It is slick. Tell us for science, how close is that to how an AIO can work, or an air cooler with a vapor chamber? So it's what it likely is. Actually, I'm just going to look it up. I'm not going to guess. I'm not going to guess. An AIO, that is not how an AIO works. There's no liquid in there. There's no liquid in there. I don't see heat pipes, so it's not using sort of the heat pipe sort of method of evaporating and then recondensating and circulating that liquid. Oh my God. They have it for $130? Oh, that's a different one, I guess. No, let me just go to Amazon and see which one I got specifically and what they call the cooling technology. It's something I've seen talked about on, or heard talked about on LTT, I believe. So I shouldn't be that surprised. Okay, this is called the Black Shark Fun Cooler 5. And they just have different versions of it, but let's see. Utilizes Peltier element. Peltier. That's what it is. That's what it was. I couldn't remember that name. It's a tiny Peltier cooler in the palm of your hand. It's crazy. You do have to have it plugged into something, a solid USB Type-C power supply, and of course they don't give you that because whatever. That's just because Apple normalized that. Thank you, Apple. Appreciate it. So it's more for like if you're going to be gaming on your couch, or there's people who play a lot of like mobile games and they worry about their phone heating up or whatever. You see like gaming phones, which those are still a thing, right? I think those are still a thing that come with a cooler like that. But I got mine for $26.59. $26.59. Really cool little gift if you know anyone who games a lot on their phone. And for anyone who's curious, this is not an affiliate link. I still can't make those. But no, see, so an AIO is really kind of, it's almost simpler than that. I'm going to see if I can look up a quick explanation as to how Peltier coolers work. How do coolers work? How do Peltier coolers work? So, Peltier coolers, thermoelectric coolers, work using the Peltier effect. Peltier, if you want to hear it how it's spelled. Applying a direct electric current to a junction of two different semiconductors, P-type and N-type, forces heat to move from one side, cold, to the other, hot. They are solid-state devices with no moving parts using electrons and holes to carry thermal energy across ceramic plates, creating a cold surface for cooling and a hot surface that requires a heat sink to dissipate heat, making them reversible for heating or cooling. You could use that thing for heating, which is why it gets hot like immediately on the exhaust, I guess. Like it's actively creating that heat, which is creating on the other side the cold. And then the heat that cold side is touching can transfer through it. $26? Are you nuts? I wonder if I could take something like that and just bump up the wattage and apply it to a CPU. Because I remember that LTT put a Peltier cooler on a CPU, but it was way more power. And the effects were crazy. So in a way, it's kind of simple, kind of not. If you look at an all-in-one liquid cooler, the concept of an AIO is simple, okay? You have basically you have a radiator like you would have in your car, right? In a radiator, you have tubes that go through a fin stack, okay, of varying density depending on the application, okay, and varying thickness depending on the application. That tube is conductive of heat. The fin stack absorbs a lot of that heat, and then because it has so much surface area, that's where colder air molecules can go over it, and sort of heat is transferred that way. And the more surface area you have, the more that air contact can happen. And that radiates the heat. And then you can actively push air over that. And the more you do that, the faster that air is moving, the faster the heat exchange happens. So that's the cooling part of it. But what do you do with those tubes? You run hot liquid through them. And that liquid comes back cold or colder, cooler. And that is limited to the thing about a cooler like that. It's just like the air cooler I was talking about before. The lowest theoretical temperature it could reach is ambient temperature, your room temperature or the temperature where you are outside, whatever. The ambient air that is passing through that is as cold as that can get. And generally when there's any heat going through it, it's almost impossible to reach ambient temperature. There'll be something there, right? Unless your PC is off, I guess. Anyways. Of course, a massive radiator or a bunch of when you think about an AIO, it is really a custom loop all in one. because a custom loop has a reservoir for liquid. That's the all-in-one itself. It is a reservoir in itself. There's a pump. That's the AIO pump, usually located on the CPU block, sometimes located in the radiator, sometimes located in the tubes, like as a piece that's you see there. And then you have a cold plate, right? That's the plate that sits on the CPU, interfaces with your TIM, your thermal interface material, right? Whether it be, PTM or thermal paste or whatever, right? There it is. And it's funny because it's almost like a radiator, because what you have in there are micro fins to increase the surface area that the back of that plate has facing away from the CPU, so that there's more surface area for the liquid molecules to pass through. It's the same effect as a radiator, but on a much smaller scale. And you just have an inlet for liquid and an outlet for liquid. It's actually that simple. It just goes in and out. It goes through those fins, takes heat away. That's it. And it's funny. I once heard it explained this way. I know I'm all over the place right now, okay? Forgive. I'm yapping. You know this. You know I do this. I once heard this explained. It might have been Neil deGrasse Tyson or someone like that, but like, you don't actually ever feel cold. What you feel is your heat leaving your flesh, being removed, being transferred to other things, usually colder air or cold water. Anything below your body temperature will leach off your body heat, which is good. We radiate body heat. Like, we often need to get some of that body heat off of us. Like, sometimes we're too hot, whatever. But you don't feel cold. You just feel heat leaving. Your body heat leaving you. Isn't that weird to think about? Anyways, wow. I sort of went very far afield there. But yeah, so AIO is a pump. It is liquid. It is a cold plate, tubes, and a radiator. If you break that down, that's like a custom loop. A custom loop is just like that, except you can add as many radiators and tubes and reservoirs and pumps as you want. And cold plates or blocks, like the GPU block is what lets liquid go in it and then over the cold plate there and then out of it. That's the block, right? Anyways, I don't know. What were we talking about? That was helpful. We follow. Thank you. Most air coolers are not quite as simple as they seem at a glance. You think it's just like, oh, there's metal there, and it goes to a fin stack, and then air goes over it. Oh, it's like a little mini radiator, just without the liquid. Actually, there is liquid there. You just don't need a pump for it. And that's in your heat pipes. Heat pipes are kind of crazy and cool and also simple, but not. Heat pipes have liquid in them. And they use an effect of boiling the liquid at where the cold plate is. Boiling that liquid, which then evaporates, goes up, and then gets wicked back to its original point, and becomes liquid again, and then evaporates and condensates, wicks, and just over and over. The inside, like the outside of a heat pipe is smooth. The inside is anything but smooth. I just said but smooth. Sorry. I'm not thinking in advance as I'm saying this stuff. I'm just rattling off stuff that, it's really cool. There are no moving parts. The only moving part on an air cooler is the fan or fans. And that, like, I'm not someone who does not like air coolers. Don't think that just because I usually recommend AIOs. I lean towards AIOs because I mostly deal with talking about system integrators that make pre-built PCs and then ship those out. And it is generally safer, not by a little bit, to ship something with an all-in-one liquid cooler than it is to ship something with a massive air cooler hanging off the motherboard like that. It's a lot of weight to have on just 4 screws there hanging off your board. And it's not that it's necessarily just going to fall off and bang around and break everything. I mean, that's the GPU's job if they do a bad job of packing it. No. It's more about the fact that if it even wiggles too much, you have to reseat it because you will no longer have good coverage with your thermal paste. You need to reapply the thermal paste and you do all that stuff. And that's more than any system integrator should ask a customer to do. It's a weird concept, but same as it's weird how we lose most water in our body from simply breathing. Yeah, we lose a ton of water from our bodies from breathing. Also, well, I mean, there's just so many weird things about us. We're weirdos. It's weird. We learn in nursing school called incessant loss. Strange concept because we don't see actual water loss out of our mouths. Yep. Yeah, we lose heat and moisture a lot from our breath. Yeah. There's a reason, like, you breathe in, it feels cool. You breathe out, it's like warm and moist. That's stuff that wasn't in that air before. It's like, hey, we're going to take these oxygen molecules. Here's some heat and moisture in return. Here you go. Here you go, world. Also, you know, CO2. Listen, guys, this is what happens when I don't get to focus my yapping on something, like helping somebody. You just get random yapping. Let's rip a Pokemon pack. Why not? I usually do this right before I help somebody, like when I have somebody I'm going to help. But you know what? I'm not doing that now. I'm doing it just because I want to. At how many? Okay, we are running dangerously low here. I now have, this is all I've got left, which is 6 packs of Mega Evolution. I have enjoyed this set. I was definitely spoiled by Mega Dreams EX. That set is at least a Japanese set of that. I don't know how the English translated one in, I guess, late January is going to be in terms of generosity. That set was either that box was hot as like just crazy hot, or that set is just really generous. But we got 6 packs left, and I'm probably going to go pick some up before Thursday so that I have some for that stream. Lucky Hobo, what's going on? I just built a 5070 Ryzen 9 build in late October. Yep. Lucky Hobo, we're hearing that from basically everybody who bought any PC hardware in October, November. Well, September, October, I would say. Yep. You did it on time. Okay. You just went over to Twitch to say the same thing. You don't have to repeat yourself. It's okay. I do read chat. But thank you for saying it in both chats. I do read chat, though. You don't have to worry about that. All right, here we go for some luck right there. We got RGB blessing us here with his presence. Actually, no. Let me optically zoom back in and zoom out with the digital. And wait till that stops wiggling. There we go. I hope this focuses. I think the desk mat and having anything detailed there is kind of hurting the autofocus here. There we go. All right, let's see what we get. This is one of 6 remaining. So after this, we're down to 5 packs of Mega Evolutions remaining. I would love to go out and buy a bunch more, honestly. But sorry about showing my head there. Let's just... There we go. I would like to, honestly, though, I even if I do have a couple of sponsored things coming up for CES, I have to pay everything out of pocket to go out there and in the first place, and then invoice for anything sponsored, and then it takes a while to come in. So I can't just go out and buy stuff for ripping packs. I might see if there's any deals out there just before Christmas, because that would be smart. And we do have a nice card shop here, so I'll check that out and see if I can find anything there just to pick up some packs to do for this when we're hanging out, but particularly on Christmas. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, we got our energy here. Spoink. I don't know how much you guys know about Pokemon, But Spoink, let me wait for that to stop shaking. I don't know how much you guys know about Pokemon, but Spoink's Pokedex entry is kind of traumatic. Like, it's traumatizing. Spoink has basically a spring for a tail. It has to continue bouncing its entire life, because if it stops bouncing, it dies. But look at how cute it is. Pokemon Company, savage. Electrike, okay. Sobble. I did not have a Sobble yet. That's great. For those who don't know, I'm trying to build a national Pokédex. Rarity does not matter to me. I just want to catch them all. I want to have it basically in 2 binders, the entire 1,025 Pokemon Pokédex. Toxicroak. I do have a Toxicroak. Executor. Do have an Executor. Okay. Latios. I have multiple of these. I wish I could just pull a Mega Latios EX so I could actually use them, because that's what it requires, as you can see right there. Repel. Okay. I do need more items. I also am interested. My other goal here is to pick up the TCG and learn to play it. Robert Fix It. Welcome. How's it going? So I have a reverse Centiskorch there. Reverse hollow Gumshoes. I didn't have a Gumshoes yet. That's good. And a hollow Lunatone. I did have a Lunatone, but that is still cool to get. Cool, cool. I'm really glad that every time I get a starter, it makes me happy. Fun fact, my kiddo and I used to just get Pokemon cards. We would get, back before they were super expensive, I would just get a tin from Sam's and we would just open them, and it was really fun. And once I talked about what I'm doing now, there was a lot of excitement. So I said, I have some extra packs, okay? So I'm gonna let you rip one. Just one. My kiddo knows that I like to do this stuff on stream, because I'm saving it for that. These aren't cheap, so like I do save it for stream and everything, right? I guess I should take my hollows and sleeve them. I just do that. These are not like I just think they're super cool. I love the artwork on everything. Like, it's just like this right here. You worried about AI art? Guess what? There's the artist's name on the bottom of every single card, telling you who the artist was that made that art. So it's dope, and we support that. That's cool. Not that we need to support the Pokemon Company. They have all the money. Literally the richest franchise, the most profitable franchise IP that there is. Like Mickey Mouse, psh, forget about it. Pikachu. Anyways, so essentially, what I did was I got 3 different packs from 3 different sets. I had like Surging Sparks and another one, don't remember what it was, and then a Mega Evolutions one. And they went to go do something. You know, my kiddo went to go do something, came back, and I put the 3 packs out, and I said, choose your starter. And there was a gleeful moment right there of just like, okay, yeah, that was really fun. Anyways, that is a nice Lunatone. I don't remember what I had for my Lunatone. I think it might have been just a reverse. So getting a hollow is a small upgrade. I'll take it. Sure. It is funny to hear Anton talk about like, hey, you know, if they send you packs, will you mention it? Of course I will, because I am actually, y'all got to understand, when the industry is not doing well and consumers are not, you know, can't get PCs, things like that, things can get pretty lean around here. When the industry is thriving, everybody's happy, things do better around here as well. So I have to consider, in addition to keeping the channel going, keeping the content going, because trust me, I'm going to try to be as helpful as I can be through the difficult times. I might need to diversify, and I was thinking about starting a channel having to do with either gaming in general or specifically Pokemon, video games, and TCG. So that anything that helps towards that is going to be huge, because it's not easy to get into. That's for sure. It's good your kiddo has hobbies. Mine are on their tablets a little too much, but it's winter break. I guess it's cold outside. Well, I don't mind when the tablet comes out because there's artwork happening too. So if your kid's interested in using tablets, you can actually pursue the arts on there and stuff too. There's like you can learn piano on an iPad. It's crazy. I mean, I got to tell you, like, I already had an odd way of learning myself growing up. Like, you know, there was however that was. I can't imagine how much that has changed since then. Like how kids learn. You know, there's a kid learns by reading about it, and then I got to be hands on. My kid has to be hands on. It's like, how are kids learning now? When do we get to just be like, I know Kung Fu? And will that be as good as spending years learning something? You know? I don't know. Well, I'll say this. If nobody comes in for help, I wouldn't be surprised. We're just a couple of days from Christmas, right? Like, people bought their stuff, you know? It's like the same thing as like the beginning of November, where people are waiting for Black Friday. Here, people have already bought most of their stuff. I do feel really bad that I did not get my traditional thing to do every December. Is at the beginning of December, I'm like, check out these. You can get these by Christmas, yada, yada. I did not have that. So how much is the boxes? How much are the boxes? You're talking about like boxes of Pokemon cards? It varies. If you're looking at something like an ETB or an Elite Trainer box, that can come with 8 or 9 packs in it. I think older ones had 8. The current ones have 9, if I'm not mistaken. Those are supposed to retail for like 50 or 55 bucks. You'll usually get them for like 60, 65 or 70 when it's good, when things are good. I picked up the 2 ETBs I had, which I am still to this day opening packs from. That was the Mega Evolutions ETBs, the first one I got. Those were, I think, 65 each. There had been a dip in the prices, so they weren't being, you know, and they're also newer, but the market had been saturated a little bit. So if I wanted to get what I'm dying to get my hands on is 151, because I'm trying to do the Pokédex and getting early Pokemon from the first 151 in the Pokédex. That was the first Gen 1. Kind of hard to get otherwise. But those sets are crazy. The Ultra Premium, it's Scarlet and Violet 151 Ultra Premium box is like $450 or something. It's crazy. But it has a metal Mew card in there, okay? Mew is one of my favorite Pokemon. But no, I have to be like, nope. I'll tell you what. It might be 4 times the price but if this happens. But if I do start doing things like, or if I do start a separate channel with doing shorts with opening packs or talking about the TCG or talking about the video games, like I want to do Nuzlocke. I've been wanting to do Nuzlocke for the longest time, and I have some other content creators I may be working with on that are already in the Pokemon thing, which is awesome. That actually can really help, of course, but really I just want to do that because they look like so much fun and stress, but like the fun kind of stress. Anyways, I'll tell you, if I do get it to where a channel like that is actually doing fairly well anyway, I will get myself that box as a little celebration, because I want that Metal Mew card, and of course 151. People loved that set. Oh yeah, good news. Alexander PC been getting shipments of RAM. Yep, I do talk to TJ, so I did hear about that. Yeah, it is very good news. SPX Space Koji. I'm guessing that's what that means, right? I hope I said that correctly. Welcome to the stream. You said, what's the best pre-built below 1400 for 1440p? Well, I need a little bit more than that, but what you need to do is if you look at the description, I know this might make you leave immediately, and I understand that, but I'd rather help you in the right way than just try to give you an answer just guessing, okay? Look at the description of the stream. There on YouTube. The first thing it says, if you're looking for help on PC with a PC, you must fill out this form, and it's a really simple Google form that helps you answer questions I would be sitting here and asking you the entire time I was trying to help you anyway. Do that. It'll put you on the list here to get some help, and you will get help kind of immediately. There's nobody else currently waiting in line because we're right before Christmas. So, I mean, we're at the point where no company would ship a PC on time. So people kind of give up at that point, or they've already bought what they're going to buy. Remember when Burger King had the gold-plated Pokemon? Well, it's like the gold cards. Like the gold, it's like a gold foil. Yeah. So you're saying the OG original Pokemon cards have some more worth right now? It's not that. Some of them are reprints, I believe. But no, it's like new versions of cards featuring those the original Pokemon. I mean, it's not like they ever stopped making crazy Charizard cards, and that's a Gen 1 Pokemon. It's just that this is focused around the original 151 Pokemon. Like, all of them. Which is cool. All right, Gary, you got it. Thanks for coming to hang out. Lynx, what's up? How's it going? By the way, they didn't even say hi when you asked how much the boxes are. But I enjoy the 9070 XT pre-built Alexander has. So that's the one you have, and you're enjoying it? Lucky Hobo says, I have a Fusion Strike Gengar VMAX alt art I pulled myself. Probably won't ever resell. There is something about pulling it yourself. That's a crazy card, by the way. Do love Gengar, and I still, to this day, have not pulled a single Gengar except in Trick or Trade. Trick or Trade is the only Gengar I've pulled. And I have a stack of those because we got like a big package of those to hand out as trick or treat things, right? That's what the whole point is of those. And that year, well, people hadn't gotten back to trick-or-treating yet. So we just had them, and we just found where we had them stowed away, and we just ripped all of them, because it's like 3 cards per pack. None of them are really worth anything. It's just fun. And it actually added quite a few ghost types to my Pokedex. And numbered 150, the house from Divorced Dads. Okay. I mostly stick to Pokemon, but I mean, I did hear about the Divorced Dads card game. Got so many normal Gengar V or VMAX, but only the one alt art. That is super sick, though. One of my favorite moments that I've had ripping packs happened stream before last. So I'm new to this. I won't pretend I know a whole lot about it. I'm new to this, but currently I have so few full art cards. Every full art card goes into a top loader. I don't know. I'm going to figure out. I don't care, honestly, what they're worth. It's little pieces of art. It's super cool, right? Like, I'm still in that mode, okay? It's just, and I don't know if I'll ever leave that mode, just because, like, that's one of the things I always liked about Pokemon cards, was the artwork. But anyways, so just to show this real quick, from the Ultra Premium Mega Charizard X EX box, I had gotten this. This was a promo card. The promo card that came out of there, actually pretty valuable, pretty good card. Like straight out of the box, I mean, it dropped a little bit, but it was like 45 bucks, something like that. So this one is the Mega Attack Rare, right? The MAR Mega Attack Rare. And in Mega Dreams EX, they had these, where it had the big attack going across the card in one way or another. And if you look at the card in English, it has the attack in Japanese. So I had bought a box of Mega Dreams EX, and I was on one of my last packs, the second to last pack, and I pulled the Japanese version. How flippin' cool is that? Not because this thing's worth $400. No, it's like the same thing. Worth like 40 bucks, whatever. But just the fact that, like, I now have the English and Japanese versions. That, and I pulled this. I did not buy. I pulled that, and that just feels cool. The reason I brought this up is because of what you said. It feels cooler having pulled it yourself, and that's true. That's a dangerous thought, though, because if there's a card you really, really want, don't like spend more than the value of the card trying to pull it yourself, I would say. Like, if it's one of those things, there's some cards that are like 1 in 1,000, 1 in 2,000, 1 in 3,000 packs. Maybe you'll get it. Those, like, and there's some that are worse odds than that. Like, don't even. But like, Miraidon, another one of my favorite Pokemon right there. Rotom Fan is awesome. This is my favorite art of Psyduck that exists. And I pulled this card. I didn't know that this art existed, but once I saw it, I was like, that's it. That's my favorite Psyduck art. This is just, I pulled this Vulpix last stream. And I just love these full art cards because these are all actual artists doing this. Actual artists doing this. There's no AI involved here other than maybe some functions of like cleanup and things like that. The things that artists should not be spending hours and hours doing. But the part that matters when it comes to the artist, that's all them. And it's very, very cool. We celebrate that around here. Now, we're not like, I'm not personally completely against AI. I mean, I wouldn't want to anger Neurosama. Come on. There are some useful functions for AI. It's just, you know, it causes a little bit of, causes a few issues in our industry, and that's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. No, I just saw them posted a few days and just made a comment about it. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Dear Ramst 651 says PC. Okay. That's the thing we talk about a lot around here. We talk about PCs. You're correct about that. Welcome. So yeah, my goals in this is to have fun with you guys. There's sort of there's an element of suspense and enjoyment, and even like good-natured, like, oh man, didn't get nothing there, but oh well, maybe on the next one, whatever, that we can enjoy together with me adding these in between me helping people with PC stuff. There is, you know, there are some people out there who spend more than they should, and they do turn it into straight up gambling. Just be careful about that in any way. There is a rampant issue right now in our society where gambling has become normalized. It is being advertised all over the place. It is accessible from all places. There are banking apps now that let you gamble within them. Okay. And it is one of the addictions that can grab you the fastest. So please be careful. And don't just be responsible with your money, especially if others depend on you, but you depend on you at the very least, and you should be able to depend on yourself there. So don't do anything irresponsible there. I had a little bit extra. I rarely spend anything on myself. Usually whatever funds I get outside of costs of living and things like that and rent and everything go towards the channel in one way or another. The memberships that I have, all different services for like, stock footage and Adobe and all these memberships I have to make content, which I maintained even through the months where I wasn't making content. I probably should have put those on hold. That might have helped a little bit. Anyways, whenever I have a little extra, I usually spend it. I mean, whenever I have a little extra beyond that, I'll usually spend it, go out somewhere, do something like that. But I was like, you know what? Let's get some Pokemon stuff dropped in price. Like, I've been watching Deep Pocket Monster and Purple Cliff and all these. And I was like, let's try this out. This could be fun to add to the stream. Of course, I would turn spending a little bit of money on myself into content, wouldn't I? I would do that. But that is sort of, I watched a Doug video recently. Doug is apparently putting his main channel on hold. Do we have Doug enjoyers in chat right now? I would hope so. It's great content. But Doug is putting his main channel on, is retiring it and still going to do live streaming and doing other stuff. But like he was talking about how he said this, he was like, by no means am I going to say that content creation is a harder job than anybody else's, but this is the hardest and most stressful job I've ever had. And he went on to say that it's because whereas you can clock out of a 9 to 5 as hard, however hard that is, or whatever the hours are actually, if you can clock out, go home and not think about it, that's something that content creators, when you get really into it, cannot really do. And I feel this because if there are times where when I was really in my most productive, if I wasn't making content, I was falling behind in my mind, or I was like dropping the ball. And it takes over your brain. It is just like stress. You have to be able to put down your stress. Oh, just a quick hello. Have to go do dinner things. You got it. All right, Robert. And Anton, slow bros before ho-ohs. That's pretty funny. But I would probably take a ho-oh card over a slow bro card, to be honest. If we're talking Pokemon, right? Pretty sure ho would win that fight if that's what we're talking about. What was I saying? Anyways, it is a constant source of like basically you think about content all the time. I don't know how vloggers ever feel clocked out of there because they're just like their job is to talk about their life and what they're doing all the time. Can you imagine? I've never been good at vlogging. I have plenty of tools to do it, just never been good at it. I have to sort of tune out for a little bit. I have to be able to sort of disconnect a little bit from the content brain. It is difficult though. But I had to do that this year. I had things I needed to take care of this year. Family comes first. And most of y'all know already and all that stuff. So I am glad that I was able to do that. What that means is that I'm like, that means like I'm not gonna get completely burnt and fizzled out, you know? That's good. This is a good thing. Just trust me on that. The fact that I was able to take months off this year in order to deal with real life stuff and come back is a very good thing. Now, YouTube is punishing me. The algorithm ain't happy. No matter how many times YouTube tries to say, oh, you can take time off for family stuff, you can take vacations, you're totally fine. That's not how the algorithm works. They don't understand their own algorithm. I've heard as much. So there is a price to pay, but I'm willing to pay it. Like, it's a grind. You have to grind back up from not being in the algorithm again. I'll do it. Y'all will see me post videos and they don't do well. You'll see this. That's okay. Like that, you have to be okay with that. Y'all know I've gotten plenty of people coming in for help who want to get started in content creation. And the thing I always hesitate to talk about, but I will do it anyway, if they ask. Like, I don't give, I won't necessarily give completely unsolicited advice, right? But I have had some people who are like, do you have any advice? Whether it's on stream in chat or whether it's off stream, whenever it somehow comes up, whenever someone's like, hey, what do you do? I'm a content creator, yada, yada. The advice is, it's a little disappointing to hear. There's no sort of like magic trick to, that one weird trick to going to becoming successful. For one thing, going viral is not the way you want to do it. You will never... going viral, generally, by definition, means you don't have the tools to, like, to ride that properly, to keep that going properly. You're not prepared for it. You want to build up to any successes that you have in content creation, or if you're doing social media stuff. Well, I guess there's a weird line there between social media and content creation when you're talking about like Instagram and TikTok. Well, TikTok is pure content creation. Anyways, whatever. What was I saying? So you have to be willing to spend months or years working for things, putting 20, 30, 40 hours into a video, all for nobody to watch it. Just 5 people watch it, if that. You have to be willing to do that. I don't want to call it like paying your dues, because there's no guarantee that like, hey, if I just do this and I keep doing it, then no, there's you know, if you aspire to content creation, don't look up how many hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every day. Don't look that up. But just try to remember instead how many millions upon millions upon millions of people watch YouTube every day. And the fact that when you watch content, you're not like, oh, I'm so full, I couldn't eat another bite of video. No, you're usually going to want to watch more stuff. That's how that works. Maddie, what's up? Welcome. So anyone who wants to do content, you have to be willing to, oh, this whole thing about like, oh, it's like you're shouting into the void. Yeah. It will feel like that. It absolutely will. Which is why whatever you're doing should be something you enjoy anyway. I've told you guys, like, I'm really lucky I get to talk about computers for a living, but regardless, I'd be doing it anyway with friends or something, or as a job, or for at work or something. I'd be talking about computers anyway. I've been talking about computers since I was like 6 years old, and I did not know what I was talking about, but I was very excited about whatever I didn't know. If you're doing something that you really enjoy, like it means you can come home for, like, you'll have a day job for however long you need to, of course. Like, doing it as a living is like, that's really tough to achieve. It is very tough to achieve. Won't sugarcoat that. But then you'll look forward to going home and doing whatever it is you're doing for content. Like, it doesn't have to be gaming. It could be, you enjoy building and testing FPV drones. Awesome. Cool. You like woodworking. I love that content. That's great content. You know, like whatever you do. So that's why you see a lot of hobby channels, and a lot of them, they can last for so long because you're doing something that you really enjoy. One thing that Doug explained was, like, the reason he's going to keep live streaming, doing his podcast, and doing other stuff is because, like, he's really enjoying those things. Whereas the Doug channel, he had to read the algorithm constantly. It had to be basically figured out to where there's like a beginning, sort of a climax, and an ending to every single video. And he was really planning everything out, and just like, it had to be perfect. And every one that was based on a live stream, he had to plan out the live stream really, really well. So it's enjoyable both as a live stream and as a video. Like, and I love Doug content. Like, I love that channel. That channel is some of my favorite content on YouTube, period. Some of the funniest stuff on YouTube. So I'll miss that mainline content, but yeah, it sounds exhausting. And the stuff that he sort of just does for fun and does naturally is what he wants to keep doing, of course. Of course it is. Sonic, right back at you. Welcome. Frowler, what's going on? I'm 36 years old. I've been talking about computers all the time. Still don't know what I'm talking about. Hi, Braithorn. Hi, Frowler. Hey, look, I will never not have a lot to learn when it comes to computers, because they change constantly. You just have to kind of accept that and understand that about yourself and the industry or the hobby, and just be like, preface most of the things you say with, now I could be wrong. And be prepared to do a quick search. Getting into becoming a YouTuber streamer is literally a game of luck. You can tilt luck in your favor a little bit. Like, yes, someone with 100 videos that are all really high quality has more of a chance to become a big YouTuber than someone with 5, but it's all luck. Yep. Never get the algorithm to randomly push you or a random person finding your video and recommending to a big group or however many different ways are out there. You're never going to have to live off of it. Natty, they're basically the way that I got to be and I'm not a big YouTuber by any, I mean, in terms of like objectively speaking, someone who has, maybe 50 subscribers will hear 40,000 subscribers and be like, yo, that's crazy. But I constantly talk to and work with people who have 6 or 7 digit subscribers. It is humbling, and that's a good thing. It keeps me like, hey, I need to keep it up. I need to get back to work. Like, I don't focus too much on that number though, which is a good thing because it's very slow growing when you're covering pre-builds for very solid reasons. Regardless, the way that it happened for me, well, first off, if we hadn't had the GPU shortage, I would not be doing this. I would still be a sysadmin at some company or doing something like that. If not for the GPU shortage, I would not have made that pre-built content because I would have been stuck in DIY mode all the time, right? And because I found that solution of, hey, if there's a shortage of PC hardware, pre-builts are the way to go. I mean, I knew this, but I didn't know what other people didn't know. I didn't realize that I had already stumbled upon something that would be good to share with people. So here's a story of how I sort of found my niche, or my niche found me. I just wanted to make a video. If I spent money on anything, I tried to make it into content. That was the early days of my YouTube channel. Still kind of the current days of my YouTube channel, but I've sort of backed off on that a little bit. I bought a pre-built PC because I wanted to upgrade my PC for more video editing and stuff like that, and I couldn't buy a GPU to save my life. So I was like, immediately, I'll buy a pre-built. No big deal. And whereas people were waiting months to get a GPU, where they were spending 2 or 3 times the price of a GPU on eBay to get that graphics card, I got a system with a 3900X and a 3070 in it and plenty of RAM and like all the good stuff for the same price you would get just the 3070 on eBay. I got that whole computer. So that's a video right there. Oh my goodness. Yes, it is. And then I watched as the views started going up. I was like, this is more views than I usually get. So I went to where every creator needs to go whenever there's a blip in their numbers. If something does a little better, you go to your analytics and you look at what brought people there. And I saw this search term and it said best pre-built PC, best pre-built gaming PC 2021. And I was like, wait, this means a lot of people are searching for this. What do I find when I search that? And I was not finding much. And I realized, I was like, well, of course, most people buy pre-builts. Why the hell isn't there more pre-built content? Oh my God. And I just messaged my editor at the time, who edited half my videos. He would edit the gameplay footage from streams and stuff, and I would edit the like tutorial videos and things like that. I had a weird channel back then. I was doing what I recommend to other people. Throw a bunch of stuff at the wall, see what sticks, what works for you, you know? Let's just have fun with it. And I realized, I was like, if I just talk about, I was like, well, look, I know that I can go and just talk about computers, right? But no. A lot of people do that. So let me talk about my experience with the PC, like a review. Okay, yeah. And I did. And because iBuyPower had a couple issues with the system, minor things, and they fixed it. I was like, that should be relayed to viewers. That like, yeah, iBuyPower gets a bad rep. I had a couple minor issues. They fixed it like that. And then the improvements that I made. And then I was like, no. This isn't it. This is not it. And while I was looking around at system integrators, I realized something. During the shortages for GPUs, I could use configurators like at iBuyPower, NZXT, Build, companies like that, because they would put the lead times or the wait times, 2-3 weeks, 3-4 weeks, or no lead time meant they had it in stock. I could use configurators to immediately see what stock different PC building companies had. And I was like, what if I just talk about this every week? Like once a week. I talk about system integrators every week, like weekly. And I just ran the idea by my editor, and I was like, if I just talk about this every week, could you just edit that real quick? And then we put it up every week. He was like, yeah, let's try it. And that just took off. Because I was telling people, here's how to find GPUs. Oh, by the way, you're going to have to buy a pre-built. But so what? Would you rather just spend just as much, but just get a GPU and then have to buy all the other parts? No. Just unbuild it and rebuild it in another case like I did here. Check out this computer. I did that here. I bought a pre-built, took out all the parts, put it in this custom case. Look at this. This is great. And that was it. That just like, and here we are. Then I had like iBuyPower reaching out to me like, hey, we see what you're doing. You're talking about us, but like not mean. What's the deal? And I was like, well, you did fine with me. And I've a lot to learn about this industry, but like, I don't have anything against pre-builts as a rule. It's just unless they're bad, unless it's there's no such thing as a product where every one of them is bad. So y'all did a good job with me. That's it. And after that, they worked with me and it was really cool. I had like 2 or 3K subs or something, and they were already reaching out to me. Crazy how sharp that the people at that company are. I just realized how cool micro laptops is, like 12-inch screen Chromebook size laptops for browsing. They're amazing. I think my Lenovo i3 8 gigs of RAM was costing $250. IdeaPad, I think it was named. Frowler, you got to look up, what were they called? There was a while back, netbooks. Look up netbooks. Before there were like ultrabooks and things like that, when the tech was a lot more simple, there were netbooks. And they were tiny laptops, and they were so weak, but they got really popular for like a year. They were so small. They were like mini PCs, but like applied to the idea of a laptop, which is already kind of a mini PC, but not with a big screen. It had like an 8-inch screen. It was really cool. Exiled Wolf, you have a netbook from when? Like from how long ago? Hope y'all don't mind the little trek down memory lane there. It's a story I do like to share. I mean, you have to realize I was already nearly 40 years old at that time. And it's really easy to think like, I'm too old to be on YouTube. I'm too old to do this. Who says? Just become a VTuber. Like, seriously, that is one of the coolest things that has happened for content creators. Because whatever your thoughts, your voice, things like that, I feel like everybody, has something to share, right? And if it's just like, I'm shy, I don't want to be on camera. Okay, don't. You can just share your voice and your thoughts and that. You don't have to share your face. That's okay. VTubing is one of the coolest things that has happened for content creators because every voice can be heard that way, whether they're shy about cameras or not. I think that is super sick. That is super cool. 1 second. Pardon me. It's a great story. It's like, to put it in perspective of how much this whole content creation thing is a luck thing, having 20 plus viewers on Twitch is already more than 90% of people streaming. I think it's a slightly higher percentage than that, like 92, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it is absolutely true. I know that grind. I
I streamed for a couple of years before I ever thought to apply the idea of helping people to the stream with PC stuff. I wanted to be a gaming streamer. Part of me still does. I don't know. I've always wanted to do that. I grew up, not grew up, but I was already definitely not a kid when Game Grumps started, and I was in my mid-20s, I think. Or late 20s? I think maybe late 20s. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, mid. But when I hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I did a celebratory stream, one stream, where I helped people with PC stuff live, and it went really well. I was like, this is like triple the people I normally have. This is like 15 people. No, I'm just kidding. This is like 20 people here. This is crazy. And I was like, what if we do this once a week, guys? And like, that was it. I was like, all right, you know what? If I love talking about computers. Let's just do this on stream. Nobody else is doing what I'm doing, which is, instead of just building PCs, which is awesome, but I can't afford all the parts to do that, or I don't have companies sending me all the parts. Instead, I just help people. And then with that, like, the stream grew on Twitch, grew like crazy for a while from my perspective. And what I mean by it went, we'd be talking about having like 120 viewers on Twitch, like without big channels rating or anything like that. Like, that to me was crazy and hard to keep up with. I'll be honest. Hard to keep up with chat. Like, there was a point where we were like, are we going to have to randomize who I help? Because the queue is overloaded. Like, it's going crazy. That was really fun. That was a really fun and hectic time. I took a 9-month hiatus from streaming at that point because I kind of had to, or it was less than 9 months, but it never got back to that. And in a way, I'm glad. I don't have to have a ton of viewers here to stream, rather to be a content creator for a living. I don't have to have a ton of viewers here. I don't rely on, like, subs and donos and bits and stuff can help me just in general. It can help financially a little bit, but like, or a lot, depending on whether I have, like, I don't know, that time Mikey dropped like 100 subs or something. I'm like, oh, that's okay. That's a lot. Wow. I don't have to rely on that to get by and do this for a living, because I mix long form YouTube content and live streams, as like, I'm not doing just one or the other. But the one thing that I do miss, and this is not in any way to devalue those who do come with me when I do a raid. I miss doing big raids. I miss dropping a triple-digit raid on a friend of mine who is like tired after streaming for 6 hours. That pick me up, the hype and everything can be a lot of fun. I miss those. Because it felt so good to take such a good and like absolutely positive community and just share that with my friends on Twitch. That was super cool. To be like, but honestly, like, even if it's 25 people, whatever, I still have fun raiding. It's still fun either way. All of my friends who are streamers and everything, who will have like 100 or 200 people in there, they know. I've told them, I'm like, yeah, my streams aren't what they used to be. I made partner with Twitch, and thank goodness I did when things were kind of hot. Things were going really crazy, because I don't know that I ever will hit those numbers again to get partner, and I'm okay with that. I like reading y'all's chats, responding to everything, and that gets really tough when you have a lot of people in your chat. That's how things used to go around here. It was given to me from friends, so I'm not sure on the date, but it's got that PS1 gray look for the case. It's got funky windows on it. Funky windows. Yeah, like, I don't know, maybe Windows XP probably. It was around the Windows XP era that netbooks became a thing. Yeah, so that's whenever I'm like, hey, the more people that can join me on a raid, I really do sort of miss that part of the old days when it would be a bunch of people. But that's just because I really liked sort of like just seeing a buddy of mine who's been streaming for a while and is tired, just their eyes light up and suddenly they're like, "Yo!" and I'm like, "What's up?" It just made me happy, in a small way, and I don't feel that it was an ego thing. It was this community is sick. Like, they're awesome. I want to share that with you, and I want to share my friend. I want them to see you and maybe start checking out your content and stuff. It was just, a wholesome thing. Sonic said, I just bought, okay, if it's cyber power from a client and it has to be the best build I've seen from them. Even the case is amazing. I wish I knew what case it was. Has really thick curved glass and the side intake fans are angled towards the GPU, super thick glass. It sounds like a HS420 from Haven. Oh, side intake fans are angled towards the GPU. That might not be the Haven case then. I was thinking about the bottom intake fans are angled. One of my hottest takes is that when a stream gets big enough, it completely stops being a stream, becomes a video. That's not a hot take. There's a lot of people that feel that way. The streamer can interact with chat. The chat can interact with the streamer. The only people the streamer can pay attention to or choose to pay attention to are the people sending in text-to-speech messages for money. There's essentially no difference between a big enough stream and its VOD for the average viewer. I wouldn't say that. I do know some streamers who they'll have a few thousand people in their chat, and they make an effort to now and then single out someone who's just putting in a free message and just read out what they said. It all comes down to the effort of the streamer. But once you get to like there'll be times where I run into SFand at CES or something, and we'll just chat. We'll just talk for a little while. He's like, "Hey, say hi to chat," and I'm just trying to say hi to his chat. I'm just like, "Hey guys, hi," I don't think I could deal with that on a day-to-day basis. Like, I don't want, like, when I ask a question like, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you guys think?" I prefer to just see 2 or 3 people saying, "I think this," or go that, rather than every time I do that, it has to be a poll. The only chat I will say that goes really fast that I will that like I don't mind that was probably Doug's chat, because they're like a singular unit. They're like his greatest adversary, and it's hilarious. Watch any Doug video. Please do. He's retiring the channel, but the videos are going to be there forever, and they're very, very good. And understand that Doug is not the main character. The main character is his chat as a mob, and they're amazing. I don't know what he did or what happened there, but it cultivated into this just hive mind. It's amazing. Some of my favorite videos of his are the GTA videos that he used to do. GTA 5 videos he used to do. Stellar videos. But the one I will always recommend, because Doug does this, he was doing a lot of stuff with messing around with AI in the way that, it's not the big bad AI that is just not helpful and is stealing all the RAM. He would write things up himself, right? And he would take some code or whatnot, copy some code or whatever, but he would change it, give it parameters, do all these different things. The one where it was his AI versus Vettel and Neurosama in GeoGuessr is one of the best videos on YouTube. Full stop. You'll notice that one thing that happens in most of his videos, and yeah, I'm just completely just glazing another content creator here that whose content I am a huge fan of, and I've just, when I want to laugh and have a good time, whatever, I'm just taking a break from editing a video or something like that. It's I watch that, or I watch Oats and Goats do map randos or something like that, right? But they will start sort of a bit at the beginning of a thing he's doing, and it carries through the whole way through. It's really good. Mess with getting too big. Hot take is that the threshold where a stream becomes too big for interaction to occur automatically becomes a bad stream. Regardless of my opinion of the streamer, it can't be a cool person like Doug. If he didn't make the effort to make chat as interactive as it is, I would say his stream is bad. That's the thing. He involves his chat in what's going on. In his AI versus Neurosama one, the AI wasn't just a solitary AI. All it was doing was trying to interpret all the things chat was saying and turn that into an answer for whatever they were seeing in GeoGuessr. But of course, chat takes that and says, oh, this has to be Kyoto, Japan. It has to be. I have 8 degrees in GeoGuessr. I invented GeoGuessr. And the AI would be like, they invented GeoGuessr. They have 8 degrees. Do you know how many degrees that is? And it is so funny that they all just dive into this bit. It is so good. I like that your streams aren't thousands of people. It feels more like a personalized service and hangout. Yeah. I would say more of the hangout thing. Particularly in times like this where things slow down. In basically in the point of no return, past the point of no return for ordering PCs, and then into Christmas and also kind of into New Year's, stuff like that. This stream slows down, like helping people. The PC matchmaking slows down like crazy. It gives people have their PCs, or they're gonna wait for, you know, whatever. But also, one thing you guys are gonna probably notice. And yeah, I do have a video coming up that was supposed to come out last week. Things kept changing, and I kept needing, okay, what do I add here? Do I just do text? Should I record something? I mean, I might record something tonight just to sort of cover that real quick, just as something I can drop into the video and really save some time. As I continue to get back into steady content, you'll see more people start to come into the streams. As I get back in the algorithm, people will start seeing the videos more, and there will be more people who then know, hey, he streams Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday at around 8 p.m. Central. So be prepared for that, but it's not going to be an all-at-once thing unless somehow a video goes mega viral, which I'm not necessarily hoping for right now. I wouldn't turn it down, that's for sure. What's up, Peckish? When you have that many in chat all the time, can hire someone to read it and send highlights to them. Well, that's the thing, Braxton, that Doug's AI was basically doing, was sort of collating all those messages and putting it into, yeah. Another thing that I saw was like there'd be like totally accurate battle simulator stuff, where he would promote a member of chat to be a general or something, and then they would choose, like they everything they said in chat would then be TTS, text to speech, and they could command one of the armies. It was really cool. Ceiling fan. I need to stop saying what's up. Y'all cannot handle it. That's the second what's up joke I've had tonight. That's okay. I'm off on Friday, so watching your stream on Thursday nights is perfect. Hey, that's why I do it. I didn't know that until now, so I can't honestly say that, but hey. FGN says, I almost set my dang apartment on fire. That was close. What did you do? Are you okay? Rutu, what's up? Rutu, how are you? There you go. I got to stop feeding y'all. I set it up so y'all can spike it. Happy winter solstice. We must summon the sun again. I'll get right on that. Praise the sun. Talking about hanging out, my Pokemon packs and binder arrived. I opened them with my girlfriend, got a cool double rare Mega Manectric EX card. That's awesome. A few fun holos and more bug type Pokemon for my collection because I'm organizing my binder to have all the bug Pokemon in Pokedex order. That's pretty cool. That's one thing that I saw as really early advice, was to set goals. So the goals I have, of course, are the full, it's a pretty lofty goal, I know, but the full National Pokedex. But also, I want a binder with every legendary. Rarity doesn't matter. I just want every legendary, which was why whenever I pulled these commons of just Celebi and Mesprit, I was like, yes, that's awesome. And it's anyone who collects would be like, yeah, good job, I guess. No, like this is two more. I just caught 2 legendaries. Excuse me. I forgot to sleeve these. And yeah, I'm sleeving commons because that's good binder behavior. They're going to go in the binder. I was considering building a home server, but PC part prices skyrocketed. What's up, Bucketo? How's it going? I mean, it's storage and RAM especially. If it's going to be a home server, if you're talking about doing things like virtual machines or anything like that, you do need a solid amount of RAM depending on what the machines are going to be doing. If you're just trying to have a home storage server, you might just be able to get away with 16 gigs. I don't know. If you're using just plain desktop hardware, you could pick up an AM4 system. DDR4 can still be fairly accessible depending on where you look. And storage is not that bad yet. Whereas most DDR5, you're looking at 200-300% increases in price. You're looking at like 40% on most storage right now. Still very reasonable. So it's doable. We're getting a gift for Christmas too. Coincidentally, it's the ETB for Mega Evolution Pack. That's, yeah. The custom content that comes in the box gives it so much good value. That's what I started on. That's what I cut my teeth on right there. I honestly got the regular Scarlet and Violet one because I wanted the purple, the purple box with Miraidon, of course, because Miraidon is dope. But I use this to organize. This is my Pokedex so far. There's a lot of entries I haven't put in there yet, but that's going to be going into the binder. I need to get the second binder because most of my Pokemon are later numbers in the Pokedex. Yeah, you're not gonna. Yeah, that's just one of the problems with it. 3DFX, what's up? Also building a server, but own all the expensive stuff already. Just looking for a good used mobile CPU, RAM, and PSU. Okay, yeah. I mean, the thing about a server, guys, like a server is like it's kind of like saying computer. It does help when you say what kind of server, which is why you hear things about like file servers and media servers and things like that. So you got to tell me what kind of server you're talking about if you're looking for any advice on that. And 3DFX, if you're looking for help with me helping you choose some of that stuff, you can fill out the form. That's something I can do. Dude, the custom Lucario coin from the Mega Evolution ETB looks so cool. Is it just me, or is this coin
massive? It would help if I put it in the shot.
Yeah, I got those two boxes. Those are the two boxes that I got for like 65, 70 bucks. Which it sounds like a lot, but you got to understand, like when a set like that first comes out, I mean, you're talking about scalpers will be selling things like that for $200 and stuff like that. A good part of me asked for the ETB exclusively for the coin, not going to lie. Yeah. These are plastic coins, but they are very cool. They are very cool. I was hoping, because they randomize which ones you're going to get. I was hoping to get the Lucario and a Gardevoir one of each. But I got both Lucarios. Both of those are great Pokemon. Like, I like both of those Pokemon. I'll usually always have them in a team of mine. Even if there's better fighting type than Lucario and better steel type, in general, Lucario is just awesome and versatile. And Gardevoir is just broken in so many Pokemon games. Medium backup, quality and speed of the parts I need are largely irrelevant other than price. Well, that narrows it down, doesn't it? I mean, for a server, though, you do need certain PCIe connectivity depending on the kind of cards, depending on what you're putting in there. I mean, honestly, yeah. But media and backup are you going to separate the storage for those two things? Is what I wouldn't be asking, you know? Someone say massive. I did indeed. So sad I lost my ETB boxes in the flood I had. Yeah, that would do it. They look so pretty. Absolute best decorations I had. Well, the thing about them is they're also amazing card storage. I guess thinking about it now, they're not waterproof, so maybe they're not the most amazing card storage. But in terms of the shape of them. Decided I'd come back to YouTube because it's more forgiving with ads. I don't know how it is with ads. Twitch at least will tell me when it's playing an ad most of the time. YouTube does not do that. I walked in one of the TCG stores where I'm at, Bray, and they had Pokemon 151 ETBs for around $1,500. That is horrible, Wolf. You take that back. You take that back. That sucks. Hold on. You said the ETB, right? Not the ultra premium set or whatever. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Okay. Exiled Wolf, you got to see whether it's the Pokemon Center exclusive. If it's the Pokemon Center box, those are going for $4,000 on the market right now, meaning that TCG is that TCG shop is actually being, in a way, generous. I'm not kidding. Check it out. Right here. Oh man, no, 750. Wait, I know I just saw it. Okay, that's what it is. That's a case of boxes. Never mind. So 750. If that's what they were if they were charging 1,500, yeah, you were right walking out of there. I guess this is what popped up first. It's 10 of those. But a regular ETB, like, don't pay this. Don't pay this much for it. That was a $50 box. It was $50 at MSRP. I don't even want to know what the Ultra Premium Collection is. It is... Oh, okay. This will fool you, okay? Don't let this fool you. It's like, oh, $40 for the Ultra Premium Collection? What? Well, you click on it, and then you go to these. Open box, no packs or promo cards. All you get is the playmat and deck box. And the box around it. But it says it's listed as unopened. But they have to tell you what's not in there. Now, if you look at actual unopened, that's $600 for this thing. $600. This one is $140 because the only thing you get with it is the sealed promo cards. You know how much those are worth. Who would buy that? But like, what's in this kit is crazy. Like like I was saying, if I somehow make a successful second YouTube channel based around Pokemon Nuzlocke and also TCG stuff, cool. I will reward myself with one of these, even if it's 4 times the price down the road. Would I be immune to the allure of selling an ETB for $1,500? No, I would sell an ETB for $1,500, but I would feel horrible about the person buying it from me. Horrible for the person buying it from me. Yeah. So yeah, even me leaving the cards in a cardboard box, it is in a sealed tin and plastic bag and suitcase. They were still wet. They would be. Yeah. It's not watertight. Yeah. I was in the car laughing. Oh, how did I miss that? That's my bad. Sonic 1000, thank you for the $2 super chat, saying Merry Christmas. Right back at you. Let's go, nerds. Thank you very much for that support. I appreciate that. I need to put some kind of music to that. Some kind of musical sting on that. That'd be cool. Sure. This isn't really technically well, it's hydration. Sure. There's plenty of water in this. I also have a bottle of water here. Okay. It's streams like this where I'm like, when do I switch it to just chatting on Twitch? That's all I'm doing. All right. Well, I would say enough time has passed. Let me go ahead and let's rip another pack. Why not? We ain't doing nothing else. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. I'm probably not going to stream on Tuesday because I'm going to stream on Christmas. Just so y'all know. We're actually, because Ari works on Christmas, we're celebrating on the 23rd, on Tuesday. So just so you know, I'm not going to be streaming on Tuesday. And as you can see, it's going to be a huge problem because of all these people who are waiting for help on the list here, as you can see. Oh, actually, never mind. Nobody needs help right now. So it is what it is. Like, that just gives me a chance to spend some time with the family while I can, and then I'll be here hanging out with you guys on Christmas. All right. Another one of these Mega Evolutions. Let's see what we get. The only hesitation I have with doing this for another channel is my shaking. I know sometimes it's worse. It's not super bad right now, but I know I'm going to get comments on that. And I don't know. I handled it pretty well when it happens, but it can still, like, I'll walk away with it having bothered me, you know? But it's a condition I can do nothing about. Rest assured on that. Well, it's just going to be an energy. Yep. All right. Score Bunny was my favorite starter in Sword and Shield. I'll be on the 24th. On 24. Merry Christmas, Brave. Oh, you got it, Fowler. I'm not going to be here on the 24th. I will be here on the 25th, though. I'll be streaming on Christmas. Young Goose might not have that yet. Rare Candy. Fun fact, Rare Candy, common card. Interesting. Ice Cube. Do not have an Ice Cube yet. I have not pulled a Forest of Vitality. Cool, cool. Okay. Volcanion. New legendary. Let's go. Just caught a legendary, chat. Shiftry. Have not. This is why I love this. I don't have one of these. I do have a reverse Magnemite. I do have that card, so that's cool. Did I just make? No, I didn't. Whoa, whoa. Whatever that is, it looks cool. Reverse Abra. Do not have a reverse Abra. And we've got right here Mega Mawile EX. I do have this EX already. Very cool. The cool thing about getting multiple of the same EX is if it's a good playable card, you want 3 or 4 of them in your deck. So that is very cool. And God, just the spot gloss on this, and it's just really gorgeous. Such a cool card. And Mega Mawile is one of the best Megas. Fight me. That can go in my EX collection. Although I already have one, I guess it doesn't need to. So it can just go into a deck. If it's a good card. I don't know if it's good. I don't really have context yet for whether something is very playable or not. Because I don't have that many cards to work with, I haven't really sat down and done the research on what makes for a good deck. I do know that you want to have like some Lily's Determinations in there and certain other trainer cards and like tools and things like that, items. And as I go along, you see I am getting ones like that. Rare Candy is one that I believe gets used. Stuff like that. But yeah, we're getting Pokemon we didn't have yet for the national decks. This is good. You have a bot command to explain it, so you don't need to address it every time someone asks. No, I don't. It's something I could consider if I were doing streams that were all ripping packs or something. Which, God, that would be... Like, can y'all understand how expensive that is? Y'all understand how expensive it is for someone to do, like, a 4-hour stream where they're just ripping packs? That's crazy to think about. Now, someone like, Deep Pocket Monster or someone like that, where they have millions of subscribers, a couple million subscribers, whatever they're at, like you can justify it. And also you have good sources for stuff. If, maybe. So it's like your job to do those things. And also I know that that Pat tends to give out a lot of the pulls that he gets during those streams. I don't like, he has pulled a lot of cards and has them in his collection and all that already. Like, that's why I'm thinking, like, if I pull something I've already got on Christmas, like if I'm like, I already have this mega this or mega that, I'll, maybe I'll give it away. I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet. Well, I've thought about it, but I haven't come to a determination yet on it. I'd like to. I'd like to share this with you guys, basically. I haven't even collect Pokemon for the value or collection. I just like pretty cardboard. Yep, people do it. Yes, they do. They do. Well, the thing is, there are some people out there who are pretty kind of addicted to it. And it's a way for them to sort of monetize it a little bit, get a little bit of return on their thing. And also, it's just fun. Like, I don't want to open these when I'm not streaming. It's not as fun at all. You know how you laugh harder when you're watching a comedy or something with friends or with other people, or if you're in an audience? You laugh harder than you would if you were alone. Well, this is kind of the same thing, except I'm imagining y'all's voices instead of hearing them. I'm sure it's fine. Before I thought I had an Astral Radiance ETB and Crown Zenith ETB. Couldn't exactly afford the crazy ETBs. I don't know which one I should get. Well, I'm not a good person to ask, Peckish. For one thing, I don't know your local market, right? I don't know what your market is like there. But honestly, it's like, yeah. Oh, wait, sorry. Natty, I just read this. By the way, Bray, if I ever get a legendary that for one reason or another I don't want to keep, I would generally love to figure out if I could send it over to you so you could have just a random legendary in Portuguese. I would love that, honestly. Like I said, I don't want to have necessarily just the national decks. I want the international Pokedex because I already have English and Japanese in there. So yeah, adding Portuguese would be very cool. And I do have a private mailbox where people can send things. I just don't share that unless someone has a specific reason to send something. I kind of want to know when something's on the way. I'm not really at a point where like I just want random things sent there, you know? It seems like it would be, I don't know, not that I think that there would be a lot. I'm just saying like it feels better for me when I know something's on the way rather than it just getting that notification from the mail center, hey, you got something. And I'm just like, well, what is it? What happened? Is it from a company? Is it from a viewer? What's going on? A community member? Australian market is kind of, yeah, I can imagine. Although I imagine it's easier for y'all to get Japanese stuff over there. So, Peckish, let me tell you what the best value I have gotten so far is. And it was this box. I don't know what the pricing is over there, but the Mega Dreams EX box came with 10 packs. And they told me this, okay? And this in Japanese. You got to be cool with that. Because the English translated version is not coming out till late January. I don't know when that's going to Australia. But the Japanese Mega Dreams EX, they'll tell you, they told me at the card shop, you're guaranteed to get an EX card in every pack and at least one full art card, right? I got 5 full art cards out of this thing. 5 or 6, maybe. It was bananas what I got out of this. Now, the pricing is at about $10 a pack for the box, essentially. But what you don't want to do right now is buy loose packs, as in just like, oh, hey, I've got 5 of these. Oh, let me take 2 of those. Yeah, sure. Here you go. Because there's ways of scanning these or weighing these to know whether there are, hollow foil cards in there and whatnot. Some of the rarer cards. But they stacked these so hard with like really good, not these, this is Mega Evolution. I've just put these in the same box, but I'm really kind of jonesing for another box of this because I made, like, if I were to sell the cards I got, I made my money back on that. It was like $110. I made my money back on that. That's where I pulled this from, the Japanese version of the Mega Charizard EX, Mega Charizard X EX. And that's one of the like lowest, like lower value hits in there. Ooh, and the seller canceled my Korean pack order. Okay. Well, we were talking about that. Were those the loose packs? Yeah, be careful about that. Yeah, I'm glad they canceled it. You want to try to get a box, and it's better if you can do it. I know if it's Korean, yeah, like you're not going to go to a Korean card shop, right? Unless you are, which is dope. Like, I don't know. But like I know when I go to Taiwan next time, I'm going to be on the lookout to see if there's like a simplified Chinese version of Pokemon cards. I know there is. But anyways, I really want to go to Japan. They love Gengar over there. They get Gengar cards that we can't get here. And other Pokemon cards we can't get here. But yeah, if I were to recommend a box, it would be Mega Dreams EX, Japanese version. And what I'm thinking, I want to get a box of the English version when it comes out to compare. I want to see if it's nearly as generous as this one was. I kind of want an ETB because I want decorations, to be honest. I'm looking at the Scarlet Violet ETB or the Scarlet Violet White Flare. White Flare and Black Bolt has some of my favorite cards that I've seen content creators pull. The Red Victini. Oh, I want that card so bad. Oh man, I would love to have that card. That it's it is so sick. And I think it was a Silver Reshiram. Oh man, they're so dope. White Flare and Black Bolt have some of the best looking cards Pokemon has ever made. That's awesome. Yes. Get that White Flare ETB for around $65 US. Yeah. I've seen some awesome pulls of those. Look up, if you don't already watch Purple Cliff, look up Purple Cliff opening up Black Bolt and White Flare, or just White Flare. And you can see some of the stuff that you might get out of that. But also, it's just, yeah, ETBs have cool things. You get the little dice. You know, you get the box. You get the sleeve around it that you can open up that has artwork on the inside. You get the book with it. It's just really cool. ETBs are a great way to get started because of the extras. Yu-Gi-Oh's jumping on the full art cards, hoping I can get a Dark Magician Girl that doesn't cost too much. About time. And did they not have full art cards in Yu-Gi-Oh, Angel? By the way, welcome. What's up? I'm thinking I'll ask for that one, but it's a bit expensive for me. Who did you say? I'm slow. Hold on. I'm going to confess, guys, my desk is a mess right now. I've been doing so much traveling in the last couple of months, starting from around TwitchCon, and then that was like a week and a half long trip because then I went to San Francisco, and then the one to Chicago, and then to Austin to go to the AMD labs and stuff. Like, I've been traveling way too much. My whole studio is kind of a crazy mess right now. So please do forgive. But let me just type it in for you. That's the name, Purple Cliff. Or Purple Cliffy. He makes these great prop hunt videos. Well, there's Purple Cliff and then Purple Cliff TCG. The TCG one is probably the one you want to sub to. But the regular Purple Cliff one is fun because there's some fun gaming videos there. And I get like certain, like I was like, yo, Point Crow jump scare. What's Point Crow doing here? And then like Alpha Rad, what the heck? Okay, just they do prop hunt where you you do the synchro machine as your poke in the blueberry sort of terrarium thing. It's in Scarlet and Violet, the DLC, and you hide in one of the biomes. You synchro is one of your Pokemon. You can hide, and then there's three people hiding, one person trying to find them, and they can even go and look at what they call cams, and it's just looking at the point of view of each of them. You can do that twice, 2 or 3 times. It's really fun videos. The dude yells a lot though. You have to be okay with that. He gets very worked up, and as in like when he's getting chased. It's funny. It was just announced 2 days ago. Blue Eyes, as in Blue Eyes White Dragon, looks sweet. Well, that's cool. I mean, it's been a while. But I'm glad they're doing that. There's just something. There's something about full art cards that it's like they set you up to expect to see little picture in a box, text right there, and then they're just like, bam, full art. It's really cool. I don't even care what the Pokemon is. Like, nobody would get normally excited about like Psyduck, right? No offense to Psyduck stands out there. That's crazy cool. Like, that's a gorgeous card. And look how happy he is. And like Rotom fan. It's just Rotom fan just chilling in like a fishing chair or something. And this Vulpix card, it's gorgeous. It's like, yeah, this almost feels Christmassy right here. Shedinja. I love the art style on this. Mega Manectric. This is actually an EX, but it is a full art. So, yeah. Well, yeah, no. There's actually plenty of EX cards that are full art, like this one here. I don't know what I'm talking about. Shut up. Okay, the Seal, or Dugong, really cool. This Oricorio was like, boom, in your face artwork. This Dawn card is really cool. There's an alt art version of Dawn walking with her bike that is quote unquote better, but I think that one's just fine. Marshadow. These are just the ones that I've gotten. And like, this is just a trainer card or whatever, or something. It's a jammer, signal jammer, but it looks so dope. I'm like, yeah, that's going in a top loader. I don't care what it's worth. I want to protect like the artwork on it. It's just really, really cool. I'm sure that there's, now I will say this. From what I have seen, oops, that's not the button I meant to press. I'm not trying to clip anything on Meld. Okay. From what I've seen, the community and like, and all that for around the TCG is very welcoming and not gatekeepy. Okay. You'll have your outliers, of course, but no, it's very welcoming to like people who are new. People be like, oh, hey, you want some bulk? Here's some bulk right here. If you want to fill out your, build a deck or what, they're just like really, really cool. But that doesn't always get rid of the feelings of being new to something and being unsure. Like, I don't know if it's wrong to buy top loaders for like a full art card that's worth $1. I don't care though. I think they're cool and I want them to look good for a long time. Eventually, I'll probably have a binder of just all full art cards that are just like, check this out. This one was by so-and-so, and this is some of my favorite art, and yada, yada. Like, that's going to be me. That's how I know this. I know that's how I be. That's how I am. Black Bolt has Thunderous, but White Flare only has Tornadus. Rip, I wish it was reversed. I mean, that's the thing, Peckish, is Black Bolt and White Flare are usually, like, sort of put together, grouped together. So I don't know, but then it's like, oh, cool. I just got to buy double ATBs. No big deal. Sure. Yeah. Cause I'm made of money. A couple first holographic cards from the base sets I got as a kid. Put in a binder and put in the back of the closet. Lol, just found the folder a couple of years ago. I want to take the binder to a card shop to see what they say. You should do that. Yeah, depending on what it is and what condition the binder is in, and of course the cards themselves, like, there's something to watch out for, which is that we've learned over time. I'm getting into this just now, but like, I've watched a lot of content at this point about it. You have to be careful. You can feel knowledgeable about something by just watching a lot of content. Until you've done something for a bit, then you sort of are able to utilize that sort of knowledge that you've gained. But anyways, 3-ring binders, if that's the kind of binder it was, can damage cards depending on how frequently you're opening it or doing whatever with it. So be careful about that. The ones I've heard recommended a whole bunch are Vault X. Those are the ones that I get. So what you could at least do is sort of get some penny sleeves, right? Take them out of that binder, put them into penny sleeves, and then put them into a nice zip-up binder that does not have the rings on it. That's usually a good start, just to get them in a better. I mean, and those binders are like, you know, I don't know, depending on how big they are, $25 or something like that, and they're really nice. But yeah, if it's like base set Pokemon cards, holos, you want to protect that regardless. Whether it's about the money or not, that's part of your childhood. You know what I mean? Before y'all thought I was going to be all about like, no. There's always layers to something, right? Like, look, if it's just kind of a neato part of your childhood that you found and you find out it's worth, I don't know, $3,000 or $5,000, or it's a base set Shadowless Charizard holo that is a, you know, PSA 10 that's worth $100,000 or whatever, I don't know. If it's like, oh, these are damaged, there was some light play, I actually played the card game a little bit, the value is always going to be subjective to the person. There's some people who, doesn't matter what the numerical value is, they're not going to sell it. It's a critical core memory for them. And Brave, question, your packs over there come with 10 cards, right? Yes, 10 cards. That is weird how they come with 6 cards in Brazil. That is weird. Anyway, Triple B, I'm not trying to lecture you on that. I'm excited for you. That's all. And when I'm excited, I do the same thing that I do when I'm nervous or hungry or maybe a little cold or a little curious. I talk a lot in every situation, in every circumstance. It's my blessing and my curse. Observer of Thoughts, welcome. Thank you for the lurk. Oh, I see you in both chats. Okay. Well, I stole my wife's full art Skyla XY card. Look up your cards. Don't get lowballed. That's true. Triple B, if you are looking at selling a card, like, you want to make sure that with the base set cards, there's nuance, right? Like, it's like, oh, it's a holo Charizard. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Is it first edition Shadowless? Oh, my God. That's like the card, right? Or I don't know about first edition. Or I don't know. I don't know these things, but I've heard those terms thrown around, you know? And my white flare is too far away from my house to ask for it. Would make it near 100 USD to drive there. Oh, that sucks. Would they ship it? Should I pre-order an Ascended Heroes ETB? Ascended Heroes, from what I understand, is the Mega Dreams EX set package. That's what my question is, basically. What I'm curious about is Ascended Heroes going to be as generous as Mega Dreams EX? I don't know. But that's like been one of my best experiences so far. Was that set? No, they don't. Got it. Even my girlfriend was like, okay, and what's the card after this holo? And I went like, oh, there's none. That's all the cards in this pack. She got super confused. Oh, geez. Yeah, I feel you. But yeah, Triple B, there are some apps you can get. Like, I use Collector, which is COLLECTR or something like it. It's spelled weird. It's spelled collected. Collector spelled weird. But whatever. That will scan a card for you just using your camera, and it will bring up what the value is or could be. But with some of the more subtle things that can happen with a card, like if it's hollow and it has like a really nice swirl in the hollow, that could add a ton of value, which is apparently a thing. There's all different kinds of things, whatever. Card scan apps like that don't always catch those things. One second, guys. It is a first edition Charizard, but I don't know what Shadowless is. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. Okay, yeah, but if you take it to the card shop, just make sure, like, you know, you can ask around, see what people think of that card shop, look at reviews, see what people say, if they're trustworthy and stuff like that. There are shops out there, rather, that could totally have an opportunity to be like, oh, this is worth $2,000, and it's a potentially worth 100 times that. Not 100 times that, but 10 times that, right? Not 100 times that, 10 times that. Well, okay, actually, there are some very individual Pokemon cards that have gone for like $2 million or whatever, but most of those are like the ones like that. The very few are ones that were kept like hermetically sealed. Okay, a binder in your closet, not really going to be like that, right? Just got back from eating some steak and a baked potato. Sounds good. Yeah, welcome back, Picato. Everything's out of stock. Could get a Stellar Crown ETB. I don't know much about that set. I don't know much about most sets, but Peckish, you know what I watched in order to really sort of get a feel for different sets? And these are longer videos, but they're really fun. So I'll just show y'all here. So there's a channel I've talked to you guys about before, where the guy is like he has another channel. He talks about business and things like that. He has basically other stuff he does. But when he started doing Pokemon stuff, it like really took off. He's almost at 2 million subs, and that is Deep Pocket Monsters. He's been doing this for a couple of years now. It really took off. It's really awesome. But my favorite content, you see, I've watched a lot of the shorts from Short Pocket Monster. You've probably seen some of these if you like Pokemon content. This is the should I open it or should I keep it sealed guy, okay? But if that's the only content of his that you watch, you're missing out, because the complete set card challenges are really fun videos. Because what he'll do is like, oh, I have to collect every card from scratch, because he has a bunch already, but he'll like, I have to collect all these from scratch, or if I don't in this amount of time, I have to give the whole binder away with whatever cards I got. So if it's like Pokemon Scarlet Violet 151, he's like, I have 151 minutes at this trade meetup to collect all these cards, or at this event or whatever, or I have 2 days to do it. I'm here in New York. I have 2 days to do it. And he mixes this with like his business trips and stuff. It's really cool. This is the guy that runs Card Party, which is sort of a relatively new event, but has become, you know, it looks like a lot of fun. I might end up going to the one in Dallas next year if I end up doing Pokemon content, because my kiddo wants to go too. But been doing these for 3 years now. And like, look at this first one, 15 million views. And this one was against PokeRev, which is like the biggest Pokemon content creator, all of that. Oh, Coop is great. Yeah, I love those shorts. But basically, he'll do something like, okay, we're doing the Team Rocket one now, or we're doing Surging Sparks, or whatever set he's doing. Yeah. So what I like about it is I get to know a lot about that set, because he'll be searching for specific cards. And there usually be the chase cards that are hard to get. So I'm like, okay, so that's a chase card. That's cool. That's a cool. Oh, wow, that card's amazing. Whoa, I want that one. Which one is it that has the special delivery Charizard? It's like a view from a canyon looking up at the sky, and there's a Charizard off in the distance flying majestically. Oh my God, I want that card so bad, but it's worth a lot. So I'll probably never have it. And that's okay. It's just like, I'm just like, this artwork is so cool. As someone who's just been a fan of Pokemon for a while, like the only Pokemon that I experienced for a long time was actually the anime that I would watch with my kiddo. And then with Sword and Shield, I started playing the games. And I got into that a lot. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Let me go back and play some older ones. Let me play this one, you know. But yeah, Coop's collection is really cool. I like that guy. Like, that's one of those people I'm talking about when I say this community is very welcoming to newbies. And just like yes, share in my obsession. This is a lot of fun. Like, don't even bring a kid to his table at an event. They'll just leave with like their arms full of graded cards or something. I think I only afford a booster bundle, maybe. I feel you. Yeah. And getting into it at first can be, especially if you want something like an ETB. I will say, if you hold out to get the white flare, whenever you can go and get, I guess you said it would make it too expensive. That's right. You'd have to compare whether it's worth it in terms of how much white flare ETB costs online versus. And I recommend, by the way, the site I showed you guys, which was tcgplayer.com, because you can find sellers for different things. And yeah, it's not always good. I mean, obviously, this is a really expensive set right here, but this also used to go for $630. It dropped down to $560. That's the lowest it's been. Good Lord. This thing has never been cheap. And the MSRP, I think, is $199 or something like that. Insanity. Or less. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, that's a good plan. I mean, honestly, don't rush it. Like, try to make your first choice a good one. You know what I mean? I feel like that helped me out because I did the 2 ETBs of Mega Evolutions. I ended up with a lot of those packs, and it's lasted me a while doing it here on stream. Even though I got other stuff. Yeah, I got other stuff in the meantime, but like it would be a good starter for anybody. I'm a Sherman tank. Wait, where's the pants off, dance off happening? You might have the wrong stream. You're not going to find that under the science and technology category, I would imagine. Sherman tank. But can I call you Sherman? Well, Sherman. Yeah, you're not going to find that happening in the science and tech category. But, oh, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe. There's physics involved, so who knows? There's some freaky stuff happening around here. I wouldn't doubt it. You might need to go to Kick for that, to be honest. You can call me whatever inspires you. Okay, we're going to shorten it to Sherm. What's up, Sherm? How's it going? I need to stop saying what's up. Money. Hi, Money. That'll do it. I guess I can take this opportunity to sort some cards because, again, nobody has joined the list, so we're just hanging out right now, guys. Keep in mind, the funny thing is, I've had a couple people come in and ask, hey, what's the good PC for under this price if I want to do that? And I'm like, hey, join the list. I can help you out for free. And they're just like, no, it's too much work. Really? It's just a quick Google form. No. I want my free help the way I want it. Okay, sure. Let me know how that works out for you. I'm just a little bit of advice for those who might not know this. Most of y'all who hang out here a lot do. If someone's doing something for you for free, they kind of get to decide the terms of how they do that. So I guess basically... Oh, this Archelion on EX was really cool too. Pulled this one Thursday. That's pretty cool. Again, y'all, like, I don't have anyone who's come in and said, but that's not worth anything. Good, because I would just be like, I don't care. But I'm arguing with someone that doesn't exist because no one has come in and said that. And I'm not asking you to say that, by the way. Now that's going to go in the EX collection. And these are all just reverse. Basically, I need to see if these are. I really need to just order that second binder. The reason I have all of my quote-unquote national Pokédex that I'm putting together in here and not in a binder, because I did buy one binder. That binder only holds like 640 cards. There's 1,025 Pokemon in the national Pokédex. I can't actually start putting them in the binder, and I don't want to start that until I have both of those binders. And I'm probably going to go through. I might need to get my printer working. My printer hasn't been working for like a couple. What do I need to print? You know, I might want to print out inserts for all of those spots so I know the numbering of where everything goes. It's what I noticed Pat doing in the Deep Pocket Monster videos where he's doing the challenges, and it seems to help him a lot. Hi. Yeah, I'm just buying like, okay, 3 packs and buying ETB another time. My choices to get in store for single packs is Mega Evolution, Scarlet Violet, Journey Together, Scarlet Violet, Destined Rivals. Again, Peckish, be careful that. Make sure it's a place that you trust if you're buying loose packs like that, because it's become a very common thing to use just a metal detector little handheld thing off of Amazon to scan and see if there's any hollow foil cards in there or any good cards in there. And also, they've gotten the weights down on a lot of these packs to know which ones have hits and which don't. It's made buying loose packs really frustrating because not everyone can afford to buy boxes. Obviously. I don't know why the Pokemon Company is doing nothing about this. It might be why Mega Dreams EX is so loaded, because every pack has hollows in it. And most packs do now. It's just, if it's just a couple reverse or whatever, if it's not very, like, I don't know. Some sets it does work. The scanning does work. Some sets it doesn't. Oh, it's just GameStop. Okay. Yeah. They still call it EB Games over there? Might be able to get a battle box or booster bundle, but I'll need to figure that out. Yeah. The whole thing, though, about the loose packs thing is something that makes me want to recommend to people, like, whatever you're going to spend on loose packs, take that, put it aside, and whenever later on you were going to buy more loose packs, you can put those two monies together and just get a box then. And with a box that's sealed, and if you're in person, you can tell this is sealed. This is safe. It has not been opened. You know no one's been in there scanning packs, separating out the ones that have hits and giving you the ones that likely don't. That I can't give you advice on how to build a deck. I can't give you advice on what necessarily sets are going to be the best for you. I can at least give that advice. Because, yeah. I certainly don't want anybody getting some packs that, oh, this set's supposed to be generous and yada yada, and just continuously not getting any hits. It's not about the hits, like, especially if you're trying to get into TCG or whatever. It's about building sort of your inventory of cards, putting together decks, things like that. And for that, also, one thing that really helps that I have not done yet. See, I've been trying to build the Pokédex completely from cards that I pull myself. That's not going to work forever. And it could benefit me sometimes to maybe go to a card shop here and be like, hey, you know anyone who's selling bulk? Are you guys selling bulk? And you can buy bulk for pennies on the dollar and build decks like that. Get a lot of some of the critical things that help for building decks. Anyways, what was I going with this? I don't know. Whatever. Do you happen to know the best single pack choice out of the ones I chose? I want cool looking cards. Again, it's very difficult for me to recommend single packs because of all the stuff I just said. I think it would be irresponsible of me to recommend that while this is a known issue going on within the community because of scalpers. Because of course it's scalpers. It's always scalpers. And that just makes me happy. Yay, scalping. Didn't it used to just be like concert tickets and stuff? When did they get into our hobbies? Who started that? Maybe I just don't collect Pokemon anymore. Look, Peckish, I will just say one thing that, because I've known some collectors of many things, okay, in my many years on this earth. There is one trait that I have seen in some of the people with like the most impressive collections. I met someone with the most impressive video game collection I have ever seen in my life, and it was just this normal person. The trait that they seem to have when they would explain how they got this thing that's impossible to get, or that thing that's impossible to get, or this that tends to be expensive, but they got a deal on it. And one of, I think, what might be the most important traits for any collector is, unfortunately, patience. Pretty boring trait to have, I guess, but like just being patient, waiting for the right time to get something, waiting for the right thing to get. Is how you turn something from a mild interest, a flash in the pan, kind of a here now, gone later kind of thing, into a lifetime collection, or even just a solid hobby collection. Can take patience. Patience with yourself, patience with your finances, patience with your access to things, as in, hey, that's a 45-minute drive there. That means an hour and a half there and back. Total. Patience with all of that stuff. Patience to like wait for stock to return. I'm not patient. I'm going to have to work on that. That is scary for me. You know, like I can have next day shipping with Amazon. I'm still there like, where's my updates? It's a problem. It's a problem I've had ever since tracking a shipment was a thing. Yo, Bray, what can I do in the way of $100 for a setup upgrade? I don't have anything specific in mind. I don't need any new headphones or mic. Don't need a new mouse or keyboard. I'm already going to be getting a UPS. I don't want to pay these higher storage prices, so that's a no-go on storage capacity upgrade. Plus, it's not a pressing issue anyway. Maybe I could get a soundboard? Well, I'll tell you this. When it comes to a sim racing wheel with pedals and a shifter, I wouldn't do that for $100. What you get is not going to be something you'd want to use for very long. You'll be putting those in a closet and forgetting about them. I just really want to treat myself for Christmas. I feel you. $100. Are all the games you play mouse and keyboard? Or do you play anything that might be better on controller? Because I will say, I've bought a lot of controllers. I have a little bit of I like to try different controllers and use different controllers depending on how I feel. Like, seriously, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Like, my 8-Bit Do Pro 2 is just fine. The Pro 3 came out. I gotta have it. It's a Pro 3. So what I would say is, if you don't already have like the perfect controller for you, for like whatever games you play that would be better on controller, getting a good one can be really nice. I'm talking about ones with the back buttons on them, things like that, where you can customize it and make macros. They have Hall effect sticks or whatever the new type is. They have, you know, extra buttons and real ergonomics. Like 8-Bit Dough is just killing it with controllers. I haven't gotten a controller from them I did not immediately feel comfortable using. Most of my games are keyboard and mouse, but there are a couple games I'd like a controller for, like the new Skate game. So, check out the, which one is it? Let me call it. So, let me see. 8-Bit Dough Ultimate. Is it the Ultimate 2? Let me see. Yeah, the 8-Bit Dough Ultimate V2, or the Ultimate 2, rather. Not the just Ultimate 2.4. I mean, the Ultimate, and not the 2C. Hold on, let me look at this. Oh, hey, check this out. 8-Bit Dough teases a new Pro controller launching at CES 2026. They're going to be at CES. I need to talk to 8-Bit Dough. I need to talk to those guys. I love their controllers. Okay, the 8-Bit Dough Ultimate 2 Wireless is an insanely awesome controller for like $48. It comes with a base. Check this out. Hold on. So this is the 8-Bit Dough Ultimate 2. What is it called? Ultimate 2 Wireless. Okay. This is the charging base station. In this, in case you don't want to use the charging base station, is the Type-C 2.4 gigahertz wireless connector in USB-C. Yeah. So you can use this if you just want to have it on a laptop and travel with it, whatever. You can also plug it in directly with USB-C. And it comes in purple, okay? It comes in purple. Other colors too. But yeah, you're not using it. You put it in the base station, it charges and like turns off. As for the controller itself, really, really nice button feel. Very clicky D-pad, which I kind of prefer. It's really nice. It's not Hall effect. It's the new kind of sticks. I keep forgetting what they're called. You don't just have you have these nice triggers that are fully analog triggers, but check it out. Check it out. See these right here? No more movement. It just clicks instead of being analog, and then you unswitch it and you're back to analog. On both sides here. Okay? Of course, really nice shoulder buttons. And then these sort of R3 or 4. They call them 4. L4 and R4 right there. Okay? And then these really nice back buttons. So, yeah, multiple modes. So you have Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz wireless. This is $48. And then you're done. You just sit it in there, and it just connects with USB-C. You just have this on your desk, and you're always charged up. You run out of charge, don't worry. It works through USB-C as well. This is the best controller, and they make a Switch version of this too. A Switch version of this. So if you want to have that button layout, that separate button layout, there you go. You can. It has the 6-axis or whatever motion for the Switch. Works on Bluetooth directly to a Switch. They just make the best controllers IMO. And not because of anything fancy. They don't... Part of that quote-unquote best I'm talking about is not even having to do with the features or performance. It's also value. $48. Scuff is crazy what they're charging. What's it called? Erkzilla. Again, it is the 8-Bit Dough Ultimate 2 Wireless. If you want to see it spelled out. 8-Bit Dough Ultimate 2 Wireless. Oh my God, the single packs in my local store are out of stock and are limited one per customer. Nothing is in stock. Even if I wanted to buy an ETB, I couldn't. They keep saying it's in stock, but it isn't. That's crazy. What did you call them to find out? Mouse click says Lone Bucketo. What are you talking about, mouse click? Mouse click? John Paul says, in my default go-to controller, Logitech G F710 wireless gamepad. I've never messed with that one, so I don't know if I can recommend it. I've been using 8BitDo controllers for like a few years now. They're really, really nice. On the triggers, essentially, yes. It goes from being an analog stick or an analog trigger, right? Here, I'll go back to, I went to the wrong view here. Oh, no, I didn't. It goes from being an analog trigger pull, right? An analog, like, I don't know, pedal or whatever you want to call it. And then you push this out. You can do it on both sides, and it turns into a click. A satisfying click, actually, I should say. So if you're playing a shooter, I don't know who would do it. Like, if you're playing one that is just, you're used to playing a controller or whatever, then having that for shooting is a lot better than having to do the whole motion. But if you're doing a racing game or something, you want to have some granularity. You want to have that gradient of input, right? The software is pretty good too. I like the way that you input and then can adjust macros. So you can manually input a macro, right, to where you actually just perform the button combination at whatever speed you want, because then you can go in and shorten the intervals between button presses manually. So like 20 milliseconds or whatever you want to do. A few blisters apparently stock. Oh, geez. Well, Peckish, what was I talking about earlier that's important for collectors? What was I saying earlier that's very important for collectors? From my experience, knowing successful collectors, which is a weird thing to say, but you do know what I mean when I say that, right? Like someone who has built a solid collection over time without breaking the bank, going broke, or having their partner leave them or whatever, you know? It's patience. Patience. That is what it takes. So I think I am actually going to try and reach out to see. So guys, okay, I have to talk to y'all about this. I need y'all's feedback on this, okay? Not this, not that. That's probably going to be awesome. Look at the color they chose to highlight this thing, okay? They have great taste. No. So I have never done, I've done one IRL stream, just myself, and it was TJ with me, but with my phone and my camera and all that. I've done one. I am now going to be heading to CES, intending to IRL live stream a lot of it for you guys. So you can hang out while we're walking around the Las Vegas Convention Center and stuff. Oh, okay. All right, Peckish. I'm sorry. You're probably not the answer you want to hear. You probably want to hear me say, oh, go check this place. They have cards. And you'd be like, oh, my God, they do. I don't have anything like that for you other than to encourage patience. That's all I got for you. That's not what you want to hear, I'm sure. This is giving me things to consider. Thanks. Hey, it's something, I guess. I had something to add to your list, I guess. But yeah, I've actually been asking. Like I asked Asus and Height and multiple companies that I'm going to be visiting on day one in the Venetian, whether it's okay during my scheduled tour of their booth to live stream, right? So most of them have come back and said, we're pretty sure that's fine. But what, like, are y'all interested in watching that? Just basically me walking around CES, going to this suite or that suite, like, hey, check this out. Okay. And then the person is walking me around and telling me about the stuff, and like, not just telling me, telling you guys. But we're also just chilling and hanging out and walking around the place. And I'm going to be with my buddy Manny. It's going to be fun. And we're also going to meet up with Splave and hang out with Splave and the Splave PC crew. at probably at bits power, which is awesome. And we're going to do some extreme overclocking, like live on stream. Like, doesn't that sound freaking sick? Yes, the answer is yes. But I want to know what y'all want to see, because I'm still planning out my appointments. I'm still planning out what I'm going to be doing. And if y'all are like, we're not really interested in Asus at all, I don't need to bother them with it, I guess. I'm probably going to do it anyway. I'm probably going to stream there anyway. But I also know one thing. Y'all are not used to me streaming for more than like 4 hours. I rarely will do it when I'm doing a build or something and y'all hang out, you hang in there. I don't know who's going to want to be hanging out with me throughout the day like that on stream. DJ, I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't think I have a mod right now. Hitman World of Assassination Trilogy or the original Assassin. Okay. I wish I could just set up a poll and put what he said, but hold on. There you go. I'll leave that up for 5 minutes. There you go. There's your poll. All right. So what we're going to be looking at is starting probably in the afternoon, like maybe around noon. I think I'm even going to be stopping by Razer, and I got permission from them to live stream from there. The thing is, I'm not going to be like running around with like making a scene or anything. I'm going to be chill as I live stream. It's not going to be a ton of equipment or anything. It's just going to be this camera, my Osmo Pocket 3, and my phone in this really cool rigging that I'm setting up with, of course, this insane cooler that I showed you guys earlier that is still a little... No, it's not wet. It's dry. Okay. I thought it was. This thing is crazy. I'm also going to be... it's going to be a really cool compact setup, and who's helping make that happen is actually Newer, because they have some really cool stuff for the Osmo Pocket 3, and they basically said, what do you want for it? We'll make sure we bring it to you, and I'm going to meet them before the show and film a little thing about like, hey, this is my IRL streaming setup. They didn't ask me to do that, but I'm going to do that because it's going to be super cool. But I'm not going to be like making a big scene going through there. I'm just going to be like, chill. It's not going to be crazy. You know, it's just going to be us kind of walking around doing the normal things we normally do and just hanging out with you guys while I do it. Maybe any of the upcoming new techs, new CPUs, motherboards, etc. I mean, that's what we're going to see, basically. And what's going to happen is, John Paul, what usually happens is whatever the keynote is that is first, that company usually has stuff to announce. And it's probably going to be, you know, I believe it's AMD. So they're going to have stuff to announce, and whatever that is, that's going to be getting showed off at Asus and all that and all the different places. I don't know anything about an Intel keynote, so I'm pretty sure AMD is going to steal the show here. It figures, but that's how it goes. But yeah, we're going to be seeing if there's a new chipset. We'll see. I don't think there's going to be a new chipset. If there is, then we'll see the motherboards for that. We'll probably see just some new versions of that, new versions of the same chipset of motherboards, but like a V2, V3 kind of thing. I am told Asus is bringing a crazy build. I'm going to want to see that. I don't know if it was from a PC modder or something. Probably someone I know, which I'm always hyped to show off. And while I'm going through all this, I'm going to be scouting out stuff that would be cool for shorts. Or if y'all, I don't know. if y'all are watching, like y'all could actually even clip the stream and that I can just directly post to YouTube Shorts. It's crazy the way Twitch does it now. It's very cool. But if y'all see anything cool as I'm going along, make clips. Like actually they have a new tool that makes it even easier to make clips. I just saw the pop-up for that as I was going to be starting stream. It's very cool. You have 90 seconds now to work with whenever you hit clip, that you can go back 90 seconds rather than, I think it was 45 or 60. Even if I can't watch them live, I'll watch after still, like DVR way or however it's called. Yeah, VOD, as in the old term of video on demand. Oh, I was also considering a 3D printer for myself too, but I don't want no Bamboo Lab BS where they require to use a cloud server, and also want it to be fully enclosed and somehow filtered so I can run it in my bedroom without huffing plastic fumes. So I have to get to researching on that too if I want to get one. Yep, you're not getting into that for $100. I got into 3D printing for $100, but it didn't have those features. It was with a very basic Ender Pro 3 from Micro Center for $99. And then I started making it fancy myself by 3D printing upgrades for my 3D printer. And then I completely fell out of the hobby, and I wish I hadn't. I was having fun. I just didn't have time for it anymore. That was when the channel kind of went off and started getting really crazy. And I was traveling a lot and doing all that. We got to get back there, chat. We got to get back to it. And not necessarily in terms of the streams. I like the pace the streams are at. I like being able to just chat with you guys like normal. Chat could go faster and I'll be able to keep up, but not a lot faster, you know? But no, the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel, like 2026 is going to be a rough year. And it probably means the effort that I was going to, the extra effort I was going to be putting in that would have led to more channel growth is probably going to be the effort, the minimum effort I need to make to keep it afloat. But I'm gonna do my best to rise to the challenge, because like if I can do more than one video a week, which I'm not even doing that right now. If I can do more than one video a week, that's going to be double or more of the help that people are getting during this more difficult time. Look at this Centauri Carbon. I heard of that one. Tend to look at it. They're like $280 right now and it's enclosed. That sounds cool. +1 for the Elegoo Centauri Carbon, but built early pre-order and love it. And they are even better ones in production now. Oh, sick. That's cool. Pre-boot rebuilt, 100K subs. I see it on the horizon, my friend. That's the goal. That's the paradigm shift, Triple B. That's the paradigm shift. And I have stuff in the works for that. With the reason I have not started like that, that you don't see it coming out already, is because of part of the reason I took the trip to Austin at the last, like it is because of that. Scouting out certain things that are going to make it, are going to elevate it production value wise, which is going to make it more watchable. The thing about content like that is that you're getting viewers in who aren't like I'm used to watching PCs get upgraded or PC stuff as content. If people are seeing that stuff for the first time, it's not part of entertainment for them. Like they just want to learn something. But if I can, the cooler I can make it, the more engaging I can make it, the more people will likely absorb, like the more effective it's going to be. This is one of those things where I tried to do it before I was ready. And because of that, I have to start all over because it was not good. It wasn't good. And I didn't have the right backing. It wasn't right for iBuyPower. It was not the right project for them. But it is the right project for Starforge. Like they get it. Nick understood immediately what I was trying to do. He was like, here's a PC. This is yours for the project now. Make it whenever you're ready to make it. But this is just doing a part of it. Here you go. And when you're ready to do the case upgrade, hey, we have some pretty sick cases that are pretty custom They have really cool stuff on them. I'm like, yeah, I know. I already had you guys in mind. Don't worry. Welcome back. Or bye, Vaquero, and also welcome back. But yeah, Triple B, it's it's something I've been talking about long enough, and I'm so surprised that you bring it up. And I'm not like hearing it brought up does not make me feel like ashamed of the fact that I failed at it now. More like excited that I didn't put out a product that I was not 100% proud of. It's like collecting. Patience. Sky the Cow, what's up? Welcome. Sorry I missed you saying hi earlier. I had the bit in my, I was really just going. John Paul, there's a new Commodore 64 out now. It would be cool to see that. Yeah, I heard that, so there's that retro case. I keep forgetting what it's called from, is it Silverstone? And FL something. Apparently it's way more expensive than people were expecting. I was kind of expecting it to be pricey though, but I think it came out to like $300 or something crazy. I'm like, okay, cool. I do want to see more stuff like that, but I want to see it be accessible to people. That free ring case is to die for. No kidding. When I was filming that thing, I could not believe how it was catching the light. Like all the line work was just beautiful on that case. Best things are worth waiting for. Take your time. We got your back. I appreciate that. I hope, like, when I do things, because there's things I've been thinking about for so long, and I don't have, this is a good thing, I'm sure, but I don't have a committee. I don't have advisors like, hey, we're thinking about rebranding the channel so it's not linked to a single person. It's like more of a concept. And this is why I renamed the show to PC Gateway, because I'm sort of trying to make that a thing they all are used to, so the channel can go from being called Brayathorn, which is just a guy, me, to becoming the channel called PC Gateway, with a show that's called PC Gateway. Yes, but the channel is the gateway for anyone who wants to learn PC stuff at like any level. But I ease into that. I am patient in the things that I feel are important. I can be patient, and I will. The solo leveling case. I also the solo leveling case, Exiled Wolf. 100%. PC Gateway goes hard. It does. And it has multiple meanings. I left like out. I'm glad you did, because it let me respond in that way, and I thought it sounded funny. But it has multiple meanings. The PC I started with, my gateway PC was a gateway PC, the family computer. My first PC that I ever messed with, I was 6 years old, and my dad got a 10D1000. But the first time I changed anything in a PC, adding storage, was a gateway PC. It was the family computer that eventually became my computer. And that was my gateway to not just using a PC, but making it my own. And pre-builts are the gateway to PC gaming, and for some, PC DIY. It makes a lot of sense. And my goal is for my content and myself as a content creator to facilitate that like the hardest part of any journey is a first step, right? Let's make it easy. I'm not here to show you what I can do. I'm here to show you what you can do. I like that line. I'm sorry. I'm really proud of it. I just really like it. Okay. Did y'all get anybody get goosebumps? Anybody? No? Okay. It was a little too out of left field, I imagine. Hard to say. Only had one fan go bad. Easy to replace and support. I actually, in that Ender 3 Pro, I replaced the cooling fan in the like control unit thing with a Noctua fan. That was like a project that I saw someone do, and I was like, I could do that. It was fun. I'm over here fighting with a cat who wants to sit on top of my keyboard. Wolf, the worst thing that they do is when you have top exhaust on your PC. That is like their like they're perfect place on the planet. They want to be there. They want to be warm. And then your PC is like, I want to exhale, please. Yeah. Oh, have I said that I'm going to a concert this New Year's Eve? Because I am. I'm excited. What concert is it, Vaquero? Which one is it? Like, who's playing? Mine will not sit on mine, lol. She like trying to sit right in front of me or in my lap. Dylan Gossett. What's the genre? I'm not familiar with the name. Build the cats their own PC. It would be kind of funny to have just like an empty case, but with like a heating pad right under the top panel. I kind of love that idea. He's a country artist. Okay. I am born and raised in Texas, but it was in the valley, so it was less country, more Tejano. And I didn't have anyone around me, like my influences around me, because you know, the people that like your family and your friends sort of build your interests, like their interests can become yours very easily. For me, it was more like I was in jazz band in high school, so I got really into jazz for a little while. Like I liked for a while. I had a whole punk and metal phase. I didn't dress like it or anything. I just really liked the music, so it was sometimes a little bit of a shock for some people. Like, wait, you like what? Oh, okay. The techno was always like electronic music was always a huge thing for me. I always really liked that. But I never picked up country. It wasn't very common in the valley, Rio Grande Valley, for those who don't know, that part of Texas. That's a whole bottom line of Texas. That's like, that goes all the way to whatever. Anyways. And I also didn't have anyone around me that liked country, surprisingly enough. So it never became a thing for me. I never sort of sort of adopted that for my own interest. He's from Texas. That's cool. Do you have a fedora to play jazz? No, I don't. You don't need one? Like, oh, I can't play this. I can't play this solo. Someone bring me my hat. So let me see what I'll be left with if I open one. So if I open one more right now, I'll have 3 packs left. Looks like I'm going to need to head to that card shop soon. Anyway, yes. Ultimate 2 wireless, but keep in mind they're going to be announcing a new controller at CES in a couple weeks. But it's $48. Again, $48. It's fantastic. I use the Switch version for what is it, for Dread speedruns, and it's for Metroid Dread speedruns. I haven't done that run in forever. I need to just like see if I can even still do an any % Dread run. You know what I haven't been doing? No wonder we didn't get any good pulls in that last one. I didn't bring RGB into the picture. Think about getting an Amazon tenor saxophone. So I played trombone. My favorite part of doing jazz band though was when it was a song with vocals because I got to sing. Probably the thing I miss most about music is singing. That was my favorite thing. But trombone was fun. Trombone was fun in jazz band. Some really fun stuff going on. Ari plays the saxophone actually, or played the saxophone in high school. My girlfriend. My cat was raised with 3 huskies, so she cats like a dog and not a cat. One of our cats is an orange tabby, and his flavor of being an orange cat is to act like a dog a lot. Follows my girlfriend around everywhere she walks in the house, and just like it doesn't. You know, some cats just need their alone time. This cat does not. Okay, there we go. Help me out here, buddy. I need a good pull tonight. Let's get one more. Where's your favorite place to go in Texas? Personally, like going to Corpus Christi, but I haven't been there in years just because I could only go if my parents are going. I was 19, so I can go wherever I want as long as I have the money and no active obligations. Personally, I really like San Antonio and Austin. I like those two places. Driving in Houston gives me a headache. I can do it, which is it's difficult to do, but you can't hesitate. That's basically it. Dallas is just too far for me. Whereas it's only a couple hours to San Antonio, Austin area. So yeah. Especially now that I've made some new friends there, particularly in like that do music and stuff, I really want to go out to Austin more. Okay, come on. Let's focus on the thing in the center of the camera. Okay, camera. Thank you. You're a Sony. You know better. All right. All right, Mega Evolution Pack. Let's see what we get here. I do like the way these open. These open really nicely. That was probably my biggest gripe with the Mega Dreams EX from Japan. Those were hard to open. Get that energy out of the way. Okay, I've got these upside down apparently. Okay, I do not have a Stuffle yet, so that's another one for the decks. Cool, cool. I think I might have a Gimme Ghoul. Maybe. Sizzlipede. I have Centiskorch, but I might have Sizzlipede by now. Okay. Nuzleaf I don't have. Ninjask I do have. Marshadow, I do have the full art card. And I think I got a card from Trick or Trade. But I think I'd rather have this one in the Legendaries collection. I'll put that there. A Fighting Gong is an item I don't remember seeing before, so that's new. Oh, nice. So that Celebi that we got before, we now have a reverse for it for the Legendary collection. That's awesome. Nice little upgrade there. And that's what I'm doing with my collections. I don't care about the rarity at the onset. I just want to get the whole collection. But as I open more packs, or if eventually I'm doing any maybe future content where I'm like going to shops in different cities and things like that, and I find good deals on singles that are a solid upgrade, I will be upgrading both the National Pokédex and my Legendary collection as I go. Maybe even the EX collection if that's the thing I continue. I'm just sort of collating them all into one area right now. Strange Timepiece. I like getting items and trainer cards that are, of course, well, item cards that are hollow because they're just more fun. If I'm going to use something like this in a deck, I don't know that I've seen this one recommended a whole bunch, but I love the art on that. That's cool. And we got a Hollow Raikou, something I already had in the Legendary collection, but still a very cool Legendary and a very cool card. So didn't help much this time, buddy, but that's okay. You're fine. Someday, guys, someday we're going to have an RGB plush. It's like the guy was designed for it. It's great. I actually really like this reverse Celebi. That's going to be cool to have. Because like, I already have the Hollow Raikou, but this right here is cool because I'm upgrading one that I hadn't even put in the legendary set yet. So that's cool. We did get that Mega Mawile EX. I really like that card, and it's a second one. If it's a good card for play, that's nice because now I have 2 of them. This Marshadow is cool. So I already had, in terms of Marshadow, where the heck are you, buddy? There it is. So in terms of Marshadow, I did already have this full art card, or this, I guess, I don't know if it's an alt art or secret illustration or special illustration or whatever they are. I just know it's really cool and I really like it. But that, I'm trying to keep all of my full art cards together because that in a binder is like a gallery looking through it. I love that. So this one is what, I don't know. This might end up in the legendary collection, and that makes a lot of sense. For right now, I'm just keeping all of my full art cards sort of just in top loaders in a separate collection here, just to sort of just keep them there where I can admire them. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm still just getting into this. So, well, I'll figure that all out later. But I will sleeve this one just to put into the legendary collection for now. Austin has some fun stuff to do. It does. Indeed. On the food in Austin's really good. I kind of prefer, in some ways, I prefer San Antonio. Everything feels more accessible. It feels like more of a good town for if you like have family and stuff. It's just, I don't know. It just feels that way. I'm just more used to San Antonio, I think, than like Houston, Dallas. Oh, I got a CD burner and a 100-pack of CDRs. That is a good idea. Yeah. Put all your music on physical media. Yeah, that is cool. I was watching an LTT video where they're like buying a house to make it into a tech house, but it's not like a big mansion type of house like Linus's house is. It's more of a normal sized house, but they're just trying to figure. It's basically for content for like more accessible things for people with regular houses. I think that's genius. I think that's the kind of content that always does really well for them. So it's a really good idea. Did you miss much? Not really. No, didn't really get to help out anybody today. We were just talking about a lot of different things and my plans for CES, essentially, for live streaming from CES, because that I'm a little nervous about, but excited about as well at the same time. So, yeah, that's all we were doing, Alucard. You saw the Peltier cooler, right, earlier? I think you were here at the beginning, right? I already showed you that. I can't wait to see how that thing performs. Apparently, there's some people who will just use it for like 3 minutes when their phone gets hot, and it just cools it all the way down. And they'll just like, okay, then you take it off. It's so cool. It's so crazy. Man. What was I doing? Yeah, I thought I remembered you being here for that. No, shut up. Oh, okay. All right. Guys, there is someone who's a really cool creator, really cool streamer, goes by Blaze Bits, who has rated our channel like a lot, and I almost never get a chance to raid them. I have that chance right now, and I would love for y'all to join me for it. If you're watching on YouTube, check the description. There's a link. Just goes to twitch.tv/Braythorn, but you can just click the text there, and it brings you here, but like the Twitch here, not the YouTube here. And then you can go with us for the raid. I'll drop links in chat for those who don't want to join for the raid, but maybe you want to check it out later. But BlazeBits does They do hacking content, stuff like that. Talking about the ones and the zeros. Really cool content. So I'd love for y'all to join me. Let's jump over there. And yeah, let's do that. Water cool my phone if it overheats. It has a waterproof case. That's true. Working on a new PC I made, trying to update it while Wi-Fi is not working. Ethernet's not working. Oh, I hate that. Ethernet's not been working for some time. That's weird. It is a bummer. Like sometimes Ethernet on a motherboard just goes out, and then you have to go for like a PCIe card. Have you tried a PCIe add-in card and seen if that works? You know troubleshooting. Why am I telling you stuff? All right, so let's raid Blaze, and I would just want y'all to go over there, drop some Bray raid, as Vaquero just showed right there. Those are available for subscribers if you're one of those. If not, you can just say Bray raid or hi or whatever. Even if you intend to go, even if you intend to leave, give me 90 seconds of your time to just say hi to this person, because they've raided us and supported our endeavors before, and we're going to do the same for them. Oh, the Ethernet cable might be bad. That's fair. Here, you have a tester? I got one right here. I'll just throw it at you. No, just right through the camera. Okay, let's go raid Blaze Bits. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I know I just yapped this whole time. I mean, I can't make people come and ask for help, so what can I do? I will be skipping the stream on Tuesday to spend time with family, because that's going to be our Christmas dinner and stuff. But I'll be hanging out with you guys on Thursday for Christmas. And it's going to be a good time. Like, if you have family plans, don't worry about it. Do not worry about being here. If you don't have plans, absolutely, I hope to see you then. And until then, take care.
Let's go, nerds!